Well, hello there, you filthy peasants, and welcome to the spiritual home of the SJW Woke Skull Caliphate, otherwise known as the Happy Hour with Kristi and Kev, or something like that. I am Kev, and joining me is the Doctor herself, Dr. Kristi Winters.
But I don't have a TARDIS.
You don't.
I wish I did.
I see. Now you're just asking me to do a rude joke about being bigger on the inside.
Which is always the TARDIS joke.
Yeah.
But I longingly actually want a TARDIS so I can escape this reality. Just go somewhere else in the universe.
True, but it doesn't matter where he goes. It's always fucked up.
That's true. He just goes up from fucked up to place to fucked up to
wouldn't
place.
you? I mean, it wouldn't be as fun a show, but there must be some times where he just goes, "I'll just go to like a galactic beach or something. I need to fucking chill out, unwind. I just got butt fucked by some Daleks and just narrowly survived and saved the world for the millionth fucking time. I need to chill. Give me a daiquiri."
Yeah, he doesn't really take vacations, does he, the Doctor?
No, he doesn't.
He really should.
He should. He's a fucking old man now. Well, is he a man? I don't even know what they are.
I don't get the Doctor Who's on my TVs anymore, sadly. Although, anyway, yeah, this is kind of a weird... How do we try... Oh, the Doctor is a woman now, and a bunch of people wanted to cancel Doctor Who, didn't they?
They did? Yes.
Yeah.
Do we know who they were? Hey?
Yes. So that's... I'm trying to steer us back to the show theme tonight.
Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck.
Right-wing hypocrisy.
I'm hosting and doing the whole thing tonight, so this is going to go really badly. And do you think I'm somehow going to listen to... try and stick on theme? I don't do that when you're in control, so...
That's true.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's a Peanuts in the chat.
Hello, Harry. Talking of people who speak better English than the English. Hello, Harry.
Yeah. Sounds like my sound might be a bit quiet, so you might want to nudge me up into top of the green, bottom of the yellow.
Which one are you? Your desktop audio, aren't you? Oh yeah, I turned that down because I was watching a video of War Corps the other day, and he's shouty.
Right. And there's only one sound. It is loud.
It is indeed. Anyway, we were going to talk about fascism or something?
Yeah. That was unfortunately where we have to start tonight, is with the ever-expanding fascism in the United States. So, do you want to...
What?
Let me screen share?
Oh, okay. I'll stop sharing then.
That's helpful. So I'll do my bit then, on this side.
Kev's mic makes him sound like a Dalek. Am I... Is my mic bad, or is Tony talking shit?
Yeah, Kevin is running the whole shebang tonight, everybody.
Yeah. So if something's wrong, if it's not that wrong, keep it to your fucking self. Not interested. But if it's a bit wrong, you know, speaking to the goddamn mic for a change. Shut up. Like you're a person pretending to be my cat. Shut up. Sounds normal to me.
Have different parenting styles, people and how they deal with stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, it sounds like it's fine so far. But okay, so getting back to the more serious topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an image from Portland from the other night.
What I need to do now, of course, is because these people can't see this at all. Because what I need to do is to transition away from
yes.
this. Hang on a second. To the other. No. There we go. Apologies, everyone. I am not good at this.
He's practicing. And Haruka, yeah, we are going to talk about John Lewis. I've got some John Lewis bookmarks.
There we go. Everyone should now be able to see this. I'm screen sharing your screen share.
Everyone's screen sharing. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, because I thought you dropped out for a second.
No, I said everyone can see, so I was expecting you to go that was your cue.
Okay.
Not your QAnon, that's a different thing. Your cue
Very different. Yes. Yeah, the fascists are out and about in Portland still. They had another...
And not just Andy and Go this time.
No. We'll get maybe to Moms Against Fascism a little bit in it, but just generally, yeah, these are the kinds of people...
The screen resolution, it's in the corner of the screen, really? Well, that seems very odd. Apologies, everyone.
I think it said to you that your screen resolution was something by something, and it wasn't right. So let me open up OBS.
Oh, I know what I'm doing. Sorry. Yes, I know what happened. That's my bad.
Okay.
I had to adjust it yesterday because the resolution of the game I was playing on Twitch meant that it was squidged up. So there we go. That should now be absolutely fucking dandy, everyone. And if it's not,
they say it's way better.
There we go. So shut the fuck up, all of you. There we go. Sorry, go on.
Yep. These were the scenes in Portland. This is what America looks like now.
Yes.
And no badges, no names, no insignia, military weapons. Their faces are covered, so you can't identify them. Oh, I even got all black there. Just sort of very black stormtrooper.
Yeah, these are your kind of standard brown shirt nonsense, yeah. But at least, I mean, most of those at least would wear a swastika, so you kind of know. But
well, now you know they're the personal force of Donald Trump.
Yeah,
basically.
It's basically the gist of it, yeah. And not just that, but I think it's worth pointing out the very same people who were don't tread on me by making me wear a mask. Oh, what's that?
Yes.
You're abducting people off the street in unmarked vehicles and stuff.
Nothing.
Oh, that's fine.
Doing nothing.
That's fine. And where are the not the MRA? Where's the NRA? Because they've got all those guns because they need to rise up against the dictatorial, tyrannical government, right?
Yep.
Anyone?
Oh, wait.
Anyone there? Hello?
Maybe it's just about threatening people and seeming intimidating.
And not just that, but of course it's the federal government
silencing people.
Illegally invading one of the states of the union.
Yeah, this is the ultimate.
Maybe it's not about states' rights.
This is, Trump's ultimate cancel culture. Like the quartering should talk about this at #perv discourse instead of gaming and politics, because we have actual states' rights being violated right now. And it's getting worse because the DHS, and people, I don't know why people keep saying this is ICE, but it's the Department of Homeland Security, that's the main agency, is planning to deploy about 150 federal agents to Chicago this week. The scope of their duty is unknown, and a specific plan on what agents will be done has not been made public.
I wonder why.
Yep. So Trump is just going to start assigning these troops to places he deems a hotspot.
Yeah.
Whether or not the states have even... If the states had problems, they could call it the National Guard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you have to be sort of invited by the state. That's why, I think George W. Bush had possibly an opportunity to break that rule with Katrina, in a sense that the state governor of Louisiana refused to ask the federal government for help during the flooding of New Orleans and all of that. But this is clearly a horrific breach of states' rights.
Yeah.
Because these are just protests outside the
federal courthouse.
Yeah, the courthouse in.
But they moved well off the federal property. Like they pursued people off of the actual federal property where they were protesting, which they're allowed to do under the Constitution.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's some viral footage showing police officers beating a Navy veteran with a baton.
Yeah, this guy, and they found out who he was. He's going to have steel screws and a metal plate put in his wrist and hand.
Jesus.
Yeah, they beat the shit out of him. He's still on his feet, though. Fair play, he's got some fucking balls. And then pepper sprayed him right in the face. Or whatever spray it was, I don't know. But, yeah, it's pretty despicable. And where are all the let's honour the troops peeps at? Where are they at?
Yeah. So this is it. Like, it's starting. Trump's armed fascist takeover of cities that he deems politically disloyal.
Yeah. The one thing I think you will find different if he goes to places like Chicago and New York is that Portland's pretty out of the way. Portland won't get big headlines, ever. Chicago and New York will. That will be the talking point on American news. And he might not find it quite so simple at that point. Is what it shouldn't come down to the press being the only bulwark here, but it might be, because the American people, or at least a significant percentage of them, as has been stated before fascism rose in America, would be more than happy to sit on the rotting corpses of a third of America they despise.
Yep. They're over at Fox News.
Yeah. So. Exactly. And this is the logical endpoint of the trigger the libs nonsense. It really is. They'll do anything. They'll support any incursion on freedom whatsoever, be it states' rights or individual liberties, to trigger the libs.
Yeah.
It's not so. When it's just a few memes, it's okay. When it's fascist militia, essentially, doing the president's bidding, it's not so funny. And the same people who are going about freedom of speech are now absolutely fine with the government disappearing peaceful protesters.
I mean, again, the whole idea of cancel culture in comparison to this is so ridiculous.
Yeah, it's farcical.
And yet Republicans are not stepping up. Democrats are already working on getting the inspectors general to do reports and to start the process of doing an investigation. But I mean, let's face it, there's nothing that's going to happen before November.
No.
There's not enough time. They're going to be gone for most of August already, according to their calendar. In September, they're all going to be campaigning. So we basically have to try to hold the line on this the best we can until November. And I don't even know, other than shaming them, having outrage, having moms lock arms and go out. I don't know what else people can do.
There's been some very strong and positive Karening going on.
Definitely. You can harness your power, your Karen powers for good. You can.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We'll get to that. Okay, but so we wanted to do that at the top of the story because obviously the threat of fascism is something we can't ignore. But we're going to come back to this and other topics as well. Kevin, I think you were going to go over to your bookmarks after we'd kind of covered the update on Trump's fascism.
Yeah, we were. But you need to
stop sharing.
On screen share.
You're right, I do.
Then I can screen share with you, and everyone will be able to see everything. I think, maybe. I don't know. I don't really care. There we go. Screen share. Can we see the screen share, Kristi?
Yes, we can. Can the audience see it?
Yes. This
is
my gosh. On a similar note, this is Portland. The other night, woman sat down, spread eagle, in the street, as you do. But what I especially love about this is it's not just a funny, innovative protest style, completely naked, but got a hat on.
Yes. Well, you
wouldn't want to catch a chill, would you?
No.
Absolutely not. It might get a bit chilly, might get a bit nippy. You think, okay, I'll put a hat on. And not just that, but how powerful is this woman's pussy? Because it worked. They fucked off.
It's amazing. It is really, really amazing. Wow. I personally probably would have put the hat under my butt. So she's very brave for sitting on the pavement there. But keep a hat on you at a protest. You never know when you might need it to cover your head when the rest of you is completely naked.
Exactly.
I can't believe that they just left.
Yeah, they just went.
On a general attack.
Yeah. I mean, it probably doesn't look great to baton charge a naked woman, I suppose.
Probably not.
Anyway, so that's.
But I mean, if that's what it takes to drive them off, I mean, it's a very peaceful protest. You might be disturbing the peace, but actually, you're actually restoring the peace. You're not disturbing it. So I don't see how you get arrested for that.
We need more pussy power.
Yeah, clearly.
That's the one thing that will save America is minge. Definitely.
Yeah, it might. It might.
Anyway, talking of strange energy, I was not expecting the DPRK to be dunking on folk, but here we go. Yeah.
Can we first talk about, Elijah?
Yes. I suppose we should explain why this is even a thing. Yes.
And John Lewis.
Go on then.
Why they're all John Lewis, civil rights icon.
Yes.
Passed away on Friday. Died. I mean, I don't know why I say passed away. He was battling pancreatic cancer. He had for the last 6 months, and he died on Friday. And a lot of people remembering him. And Marco Rubio posted a picture of himself with Elijah Cummings, saying how sad he was about John Lewis dying.
Yeah, which is, I mean, is he basically saying they all look alike? I've had a picture taken with Ablak, so that's fine.
And then the worst, he actually made it like his profile pic. Yeah. He took down the original one when he's called on it, but then he had this up for the longest time. And
but
the
then
North Koreans.
the official. This is the Twitter account of the official DPRK, the North Korean news service, and I use the word news very loosely, but they were dunking on him, as you do. U.S. Congressman Elijah Cummings seen here posing with unidentified Cuban quote-unquote boat people man.
Yes.
Which is, yeah, okay. Remembered for willingness to befriend all, no matter how shameful their station in life.
Yeah, a bunch of people were doing this. They were like posting pictures of Ted Cruz, saying it was lovely to know Marco Rubio.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they're all alike, yeah. They're all the same. It's fine. Close
Tattoo
enough.
from Fantasy Island. Just, random people with, like of Hispanic descent, just mistaking him. Oh, I think someone put a rock. I really miss my time talking with Marco Rubio.
Nice. Good.
So.
Yeah. So, I mean, for the one and only time I think ever, well played, the DPRK news service.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of have that same ambivalence, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. Okay, this is democracy, just horrific betrayal in Britain. Ian Botham, ex-England cricketer, legendary sporting figure in Britain, to be given a peerage, so he will be made a member of the House of Lords as a reward for Brexit loyalty. Because he was a Brexiteer. Now, I don't care that he's a Brexiteer, that's fine. And he was certainly a very fine cricketer, but what lawmaking experience does he bring to the table? Exactly? I'm very skeptical.
Oftentimes, you will get people who are nominated because, let's say, they're a medical doctor, or they have a role in a charity that they've run for their entire lives. They have something that could be useful to the House of Lords. But just being loyal to Brexit doesn't qualify as bringing in expertise.
No, and as Alan Rusbridger rightly points out, Ian Botham being gifted a role making laws for the rest of us as a reward for Brexit loyalty, and this is more constitutionally acceptable than elected members of the European Parliament. Somehow.
Yeah, that's more democracy, apparently.
Yeah, and I have to echo this final sentiment. Please, can we put the House of Lords out of its misery?
Yeah, Labour didn't go all the way. They kind of went halfway, and they didn't kind of finish
exactly. They were edging us with constitutional reform.
Yeah, you need an upper house. I think you do need.
No, that's fine. I've got no problem with a bicameral parliament, but they have to be vaguely based on popular will. I've always said
they should be elected.
You could. Well, I understand the argument for longevity and experience, right? So my solution was, you could keep basically the same set of people initially, but they would all be elected based on a list. You would put priority, right? So you'd have like the top 200 Tories get in if they win 200 seats equivalent worth of the popular vote at the general election. And then everyone would know beforehand who the parties were putting up as their members of the House of Lords, and you would still have that continuity because it would be done on a last in, first out basis, right? So I think that would work then, because you then have a genuinely proportional and at least vaguely representative body as your upper chamber. So.
And how long would they serve?
From Parliament to Parliament. So they'd serve.
Oh, okay. They'd stand at the same time.
Yeah, they'd be up for re-election each election time. So.
Because if you're worried about how getting people to think beyond a parliament, you might want to give them a fixed, a 10-year term or something, so that they don't have to worry about two parliaments.
Yeah, no, but the point is, it'd be done on a last-in, first-out basis, right? So, the longer you've served, the less chance there is of you being deselected from via the popular vote, if that makes sense. And the only reason you would be bumped off the list is if you resigned or retired or died. So you'd still have that longevity factor, but the House of Lords would actually be proportionally representative of the popular vote. And would mean that even if you were in an area where, say you're in a safe Tory seat, but you wanted to vote Labour, you wouldn't bother. Actually, your vote would count for something, because it would go towards electing a Labour member of the House of Lords.
Yeah, I guess if you're under your idea, the House would maintain its primacy in terms of being the source of legislation, and where the kind of the executive is housed and the upper chamber can just kind of knock things back. Yeah, you don't have to worry about the accretion of power due to longevity. Someone being there and being a bit of, sort of a Francis Urquhart because they've been in power, they've been in the Lords for 20 years and whatever,
Well, yeah, but that's no different to now, because you've had members of the Lords for 40 and 50 years.
Well, I know, but I was saying, like, if you're not going to, I was just thinking with Democratic election, people might want the House of Lords to do more, but if you're going to keep it in a still more of an advisory, advising consent role, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they might be able to take on slightly more legitimacy via that route, but it was still the primacy would still stick with the
House.
Commons. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway, that's constitutional reform. Is there anything?
Sorry, the Commons, the House of Lords. Yeah.
Is there any less sexy topic in the world than British parliamentary constitutional reform?
Reform.
I mean, my boner has become an innie at this point. That's how bad it is. Anyway,
I'm just having fun.
Well, you are I don't usually kink shame, but this is not healthy. Okay. Anyway, so Boomer Trump stealing a copyright thing. We'll get back to it. He stole a Linkin Park song for a weird thing. Anyway, we'll get back to it though.
Got smacked down.
Yeah, Andy and Ghost changed his story. Surprisingly, 2 years later, or a year, whatever, how many months later. No, multiple punches to the head by people wearing brass knuckles under their gloves. It resulted in hospitalisation and brain bleed. It was a brain aneurysm previously. And there was never any mention of brass knuckles until the other day. And
we also saw the pics.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. You didn't look like you were beaten up by brass knuckles.
No,
you basically had kind of a
slight cut under your eye.
Yeah, and a little bit of puffiness.
But he dropped his beans.
And he got a British accent for a while.
Yeah. Anyway, palate cleanser, away from Andy and Go, hamster bowling.
Oh, what is this?
Hamster bowling. Boom. Lovely stuff.
Love it.
Anyway, we'll have one more.
I can watch that. Oh.
That is beautiful.
See, just give me a live feed of that all day. That's amazing.
And from one slightly odd creature to whoever made this fucking meme, this is YAF, the Young American Foundation. Or Young America's Foundation, which is a conservative piece of shit. And they made this and posted it on their own account, right? Actual image of a conservative brain. Right? Freedom, that's, I mean, okay, whatever. National anthem, Stephen Crowder, Ben Shapiro, American exceptionalism, US Constitution, US history, and look how small the book's bit is. Look, they've taken the piss. But look how much bigger Ben Shapiro is than books.
I mean, they did. I think it was an unconscious revelation of how they really value things.
Yeah, exactly. Books is the smallest of all the brain. Here, books, a little bit of books there. And I don't think reading the Bible really counts, if I'm honest. Look,
no,
you can get that from sermons and shit. You have to actually read other books. US Constitution.
They have to think They have to think so hard about the national anthem. It takes up like about a fifth of their brain.
Yeah. To be honest, if I was Stephen Crowder, I'd feel a bit pale because look how much bigger Ben Shapiro is, and he's only just bigger than the national anthem. I mean, he has sold his soul so hard. Freedom. He has licked that boot so hard, and he's barely bigger than national anthem. Like, that's how cheap has he sold his soul? Good lord.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is on the concept of cancel culture. The Harper's Magazine letter that we talked about a couple of episodes ago and referenced in the previous episode had many people involved in it, right? And they had like lefties like Noam Chomsky and various other vaguely lefty or liberal type people who were there to basically try and as a sort of unwitting human shield, it would appear. So this rightist Trojan horse pretend giving a fuck about free speech thing. Mm-hmm. And then, delightfully, we'll play the clip in a second, but even in the letter where they were against cancel culture, they cancelled someone. It was suggested by many of the people that they get a guy called Glenn Greenwald, who's a well-known journalist who was involved with, not Julian Assange, Edward Snowden.
No. Well, no. Also, he did stuff with WikiLeaks and Assange. He's a Assange. I don't really.
Oh, did it? Oh, okay. Well, I think I seem to recall him first propping up with.
He might have. Yeah, I think that's how he first got on stage, and then he was also tight into WikiLeaks because of Snowden.
Yeah. Okay. Well, either way, he's a well-known journalist and a free speechy person, and all the rest of it. But he was a little bit too, I don't know, lefty or whatever for some people, because various people, including maybe someone called Weinstein, I don't know, cancelled him and
Really?
said, no, we're not going to allow him to sign. So he was never offered. So we'll just play
LGBTQ people that we saw. Did you consider asking him on? I don't know if that's too like private.
Bernie Sanders?
No, sorry. Oh, no. That would have
I
been
wish.
amazing. Yeah, I know.
That would have been amazing.
Glenn Greenwald.
Yeah, we did. I would have had him on. Interestingly enough, he's become someone in the past few months that I've interacted with quite a bit on Twitter, and it's been cool. We really.
Yeah.
Did you share your audio with me?
I don't have.
Did I what, sorry?
Did you share your audio with me on Zoom?
With you on Zoom.
Mm-hmm. Because I couldn't hear that.
Couldn't you?
No, you have to, if you're screen sharing, you have to share the audio.
Oh, do I? Hang on.
Yep,
Screen share.
it's in a little box in the bottom corner.
In the bottom corner.
On left-hand
up.
corner.
Oh, so share computer sound. Apologies, Kristi. I will have to go back to the start, everyone. Because Kristi
Sorry.
couldn't hear. Keeping the whole class behind, isn't she?
Isn't you?
Yeah. Oh, it's entirely my
Yeah.
fault, yeah. But I didn't know. Anyway, so...
No, it's complicated to run a show.
It is. And I'm a fucking simpleton, so it doesn't help.
LGBTQ people that we saw. Did
now I
you
hear
consider
asking
asking him on? I don't know if that's too like private.
Bernie Sanders?
No, sorry. Oh, no.
Oh,
That would have
I
been
wish.
amazing. Yeah, I know.
That would have been amazing.
Glenn Greenwald.
Yeah, we did. I would have had him on. Interestingly enough, he's become someone in the past few months that I've interacted with quite a bit on Twitter, and it's been cool. We really,
Yeah.
But like, I was outvoted on that.
Interesting. You see, this is interesting because I assume some of the reasons that you were outvoted on that was because of some of his things that were considered beyond the pale. And I'm not like, it's just not a
No,
gotcha.
I don't actually even remember. There were certain names that some people, there were just certain names that anybody wanted, and then it was like that, like the rest of the
Yeah, you
people didn't
canceled
just
them.
Yeah.
know, and I don't even remember who it was.
LGBT.
Well, we know who it was. It was Eric Weinstein. Anyway, yes, so, even in the letter saying you shouldn't cancel people for their views, it's freedom of the speeches, they literally
Yeah.
cancelled them. Now, to the people in the chat saying Glenn Greenwald's a prick, that's true. He is a prick. But the point
Yeah,
is...
that's my opinion too.
Yeah, if you're going to...
It's more the irony, the hypocrisy. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly. It's the hypocrisy, yeah, of saying we're against targeting people for their political beliefs, and we're doing a broad tent, everyone. We've got Noam Chomsky, we've got Quillette writers, we've got every motherfucker in this big tent for freedom of the speeches. But Glenn Greenwald cancelled. Boom. Like, that's not.
Yeah, we're not saying they're wrong. They're just saying they're hypocrites.
Yeah, exactly. But that's the point. Is that
Yeah.
we're seeing now with the rules being placed on Parler, because all of the sites do it, because it becomes unusable if you don't have certain rules. It becomes
Like,
an
you
absolute
can't
shit
post
show.
Stop posting your own feces.
Yeah, exactly. Your
Pictures
own
of your own
feces.
feces.
Stop spamming swear words underneath it because no one can follow a thread. All of those sorts of things are perfectly reasonable restrictions, because that's not free speech. That's you being a prick. Right? And the point here is, you can have alignments with people you disagree with on a lot of things, but there are some people who are beyond the pale. And that isn't you cancelling them, that's you not wanting to associate with dickheads.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
It
and
is
they're
fine.
fine to
It's
do that,
absolutely
but don't
fine.
be a hypocritical set of dickheads about it. You know?
Yep.
Anyway, so, yes. So that wasn't me standing for Glenn Greenwald, I was just, pointing out hypocrisy. Here we go, Karen Power.
Yes. Can you read that out?
Sorry. There's a line of women linking arms and protecting protesters outside the Justice Centre, which is like the courts. Chants of "Feds stay clear, mums are here," and "Mums not feds," to resounding applause. And they're all dressed in white as well, which means that I think the police are like scared of whiteness. They can't. Look, if they were dressed in black, they might be able to say, "Oh, I confused him for a black guy and I shot him."
Right.
But they're dressed in white. Definitely, they're honkies. So,
Yeah. Although they did gas people. I mean, they did throw out tear gas and stuff in the streets.
But they didn't shoot them dead
so
and
they
say they
didn't-
were armed. So,
Not yet. No. Someone pointed out that
Were
women
any
are
of these
learning.
people's
Like,
necks kneeled on?
I didn't see any of
Well,
that.
any
But there was
there
a black activist who was saying, I'm appreciating it, but basically saying once you stand up to racists, your whiteness won't protect you anymore.
Yeah, because you've rescinded your white people club card.
Yep. Now you're part of the problem. You're one of those dirty liberal hippies that they've been fighting since the 70s.
Yeah.
I think they might be wearing yellow too, white or yellow or some kind of, yeah. I saw someone pointed out women in yellow. Maybe they were on the edges, but yeah, hats off to those women, and I hope more come. Tomorrow there'll be more of us.
Yes.
That's a Hamilton reference.
Well, yeah, but the point stands is that, and it actually is similar to the way in which some of the founding fathers, anyway, responded to Britain's tyranny. That if you start firing on innocent people and generally behaving in a dickish way, you're gonna. It's a sort of a society-wide Streisand thing. That all of a sudden people are people's eyes are opened to. Oh, actually, no, the government are a bit shit, and the police are acting like pricks. We need to stop this.
Yeah. And if there's something we've learned about Americans in the last 4 months is that they are assy as fuck. And if you we've seen it on the mask side, but you've also seen a bit on this as well, and some good Karening, which is like people who will stand up and who get pissed off and will say no. And then of course, as the violence continues, more people see that, they get outraged and they want to stand with the protesters. So it's a really self-defeating PR strategy.
Yeah, to any police officer, firing on a crowd doesn't tend to calm things down.
No.
What you do is I mean, it's the old line about if you shoot me, 10 more will replace me.
And let's be honest, when white people see black people being beaten down by the police, they might have empathy, but they don't have identification. And when white people see the police gassing peaceful white protesters or putting tear gas out in front of middle-aged white women, they do identify. There is that in-group bias, but we are harnessing that to strengthen the movement.
Yeah. Well, it's
and make people more empathetic.
Yeah, this is more brave and more direct action-y, but my whole thing I do here online is trying to use my white male cis dude privilege for something positive. Hopefully, like I'd be happy for it to stop and to cease being a thing. That's the ultimate goal. But whilst it's here, use it for something positive.
I don't know that there's a lot of places on YouTube where you can hear white people talking about like the problems that are caused by white supremacy and how white people are still fucking stuff up, but also like looking at how we as white people can step up and do our part to be good allies and to help solve the problems instead of benefiting from the system.
Indeed. John Lewis. John Lewis. Sorry, because I've had this problem when I'm reading his name because it's the name of a department store here in Britain.
It is. Yeah.
So it's a bit confusing, but yeah, I quite like that the Cato Institute, these fucking horrible right-wing libertarian pieces of shit, trying to co-opt him.
Of course.
No, you were happily supporting the police batoning him and stuff. So fuck you.
Yep.
It's like the Mormons posthumously baptizing people into the faith. Yeah.
That's a good comparison.
This was linked to the thing with Trump and his copyright abuse. He nicked a song from the band Linkin Park. Not only Chester Bennington, the now unfortunately deceased former lead singer, who detested Trump whilst he was alive, but Linkin Park themselves said, Linkin Park do not and does not endorse Trump, nor authorise his organisation to use any of our music. A cease and desist has been issued. Fair play.
Very fair. Yeah. Very fair. It's copyright. It's intellectual property. Yeah. Trump is stealing legally.
Indeed.
So, stand up for your rights.
Yeah.
Especially,
Laura Ingram's an idiot. Don't know if you knew
and
that.
Also, is it a day that ends in Y? Because if it's a day that ends in Y, Laura Ingraham is still an idiot.
Well,
what did she do this time?
Only in God's language, English. Yes. Howard Dean, the former governor, as it says there, at least in American sense, a centre left person. This guy needs to be arrested, prosecuted and convicted, imprisonment for a very long time. That's the acting secretary, the Chad Wolf, who's sending out the aforementioned and shown fascist militia in Portland and potentially in various other cities. Laura says, if you vote for Biden, you're voting for political retribution against conservatives.
What the fuck is she talking about?
Bitch, at the same conference you were giving Zig Heils on the fucking stage, you were chanting, lock her up, to the actual candidate of the other party. Do you want to fucking take a seat?
Yeah. this is what you're worried about, because you've seen how Trump is going after his political enemies, going after Strzok, going after Mueller, getting all his friends off. Now you're worried that people on the left are going to be as corrupt as you because you think that everybody is corrupt.
When you talk about getting his friends off, I'm sure a lot of his ex-wives never had that.
Oh, I don't know if we're going to get to the Roger Stone audio. Do you have that?
I don't have it. Do you have it?
Well, we can find it.
Yeah.
So just mental note on that.
Okay. Emails Chung.
We'll do that after the...
Emails Chung might be the most pathetic simp in the history of the world. Ever. He says, this is the most pathetic thing I've ever seen, which is just a man having fun with his cat.
I have this video queued up. It's so adorable. I love it. It's just warm and fuzzy.
It is adorable, right? But that's so it's pathetic that he thinks it's pathetic. But it gets even more pathetic because a pretty lady comes into his menchies and says, "This is kind of cute, though, not going to lie." And he says, "A bit." Oh. So it went from being pathetic to being kind of cute because a pretty lady spoke to him. No wonder he's a fucking virgin. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
That's shameful, Ian. Like,
do you have the Marco Rubio?
Christ.
Do you have the Marco Rubio one?
I think I do at some point, yeah.
Yeah, well, so to be continued. To be continued on that. Yeah. Hold that thought about, what would you call it? Soft men? Is that what you call
Soft men, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
So the Portland mayor demands Trump removal of federal agents from the city, and as the source pointed out, radio silence from the state's rights crowd. Yeah. So a point we've made, so we'll move on. But it's worth reiterating. Jack Posobiec is one of the smoothest brain motherfuckers in the history of the world. Again, the day ends in Y. Having Trump the video had already been taken down for copyright abuse, so he said, here is, on the same site, here is this Trump video Twitter took down. Please do not retweet this. It got taken down straight away.
What? And how many people retweeted it? Oh, it doesn't say.
It doesn't say, but I mean,
I wish it did.
It's just, he really is. He's like a bowling ball of a brain. It's so smooth. It's a perfect fucking sphere. Oh,
well, there's got to be some way I control I keep calling it Mythicist Milwaukee, myth-informed about cancel culture. Like, there's got to be some way of repeating copyright, trying to repost something taken down for copyright.
Also, right, I thought these motherfuckers believed in like private property or whatever, and have been attacking China for stealing intellectual copyright. But when it comes to Linkin Park's copyright and their creation, no, fuck it. We can just steal that, apparently.
Yeah, apparently, like copyright strikes are cancel culture, and Jack Posobiec wants to liberate all property, including intellectual property.
They are. Well, I've always said I should be allowed to post all of Lady Gaga's back catalogue on my channel.
Yeah,
but I'm being silenced. The boot of the government is on my neck on that one.
Well, I love right-wingers who violate intellectual property rights. It's so funny.
Well, they have criminals. To because it's the only connection to intellectual they've ever had.
Yeah, so, they have to steal everyone else's stuff.
Yeah. This is slightly annoying. Why are CNN blurring out the faces of these fascist thugs and not the people they're illegally arresting?
That's a good question.
Worth thinking about there, guys. Which side you might be on in this regard.
Also, those cops are wearing masks. It's really hard to see them anyway. Yeah. So why even bother with that shit? Anyway.
But here we go.
Oh, here we go, yep.
Yeah, there we go. Ian Miles-Chung, don't elect soft men. And I think Coca-Cola Boy asked the right question. Fellas, is it gay to have a dog?
Apparently, according to Ian, he is the arbiter of masculinity.
Doesn't everyone have, like, a pet? What the fuck is Ian Miles-Chung's problem?
What is just this random misandry going on?
Well, it's not just
honestly.
I don't even get, like, the toxic masculinity. Some of the most butch, like, typically masculine dudes ever have got, like, bulldogs and stuff and love them and are, like, really cutesy with them.
Yeah.
It's fine. Everyone likes pets. What kind of fucking freak are you? Jeez.
I was just, in a video we're going to look at maybe a little bit later, Carl complains about women who are posting that they hate men online. And I was like, Carl, that's what you do all the time.
Yeah,
you post about simps,
fucking career is based on women are shit. That's his entire thing, you know.
Right. But also just shaming men. Like, he accuses feminists of man-hating, but he does way more man-hating and sort of, like masculinity policing you're masculine enough, you're not masculine enough for him, than I see any feminist doing.
Although,
Just a reflection.
What would have been good with this picture is if the North Koreans had tweeted it out with Rover here is seen with an unidentified boat person, man.
Boat man?
Yeah. But they didn't. They missed that trick. I mean, to be fair, if one thing they're not really known for, the North Korean news agency, it's absolute razor-sharp humour, unfortunately.
But they did call him a boatman, didn't they?
They did call him a boatman, which is funny. That is funny. Anyway, yeah, oh God, it never ends. Newly leaked documents reveal that the White House cracked down on Antifa, while the White House cracked down on Antifa, law enforcement officials across the country were sharing detailed reports of far-right extremists seeking to attack the protesters and police during demonstrations.
We said he was a fascist.
Yep.
We've been saying he was a fascist since he got elected, and people told us we were ridiculous and that we didn't know what we were talking about. And it turns out, you know what, Kevin?
What?
He's a fucking fascist.
Well, as Kristi says, conceptualise my astonishment.
Yes. Like, someone should have told us. Someone should have warned us before all of these Americans are dying from COVID unnecessarily.
Well, as CEO of Antifa, we put out an email rounder to everyone on staff, but presumably they didn't read it again, because they never do.
Our staff are shit.
Yeah.
They never check their emails. Too busy being autonomous. Oh, look at the beautiful, yes.
Look how fluffy that cat is.
It's just a ball of fur with eyes and ears.
But for some reason it doesn't have the squeak on it, for some reason. Never mind. Then we've got another cat being held like a baby.
That's very Rory Cats-ish.
It is. There's an even more Rory Cats one later that still isn't Rory Cats. Yeah, this is obviously the true long game of the Soros project. They want you to keep doing this to prevent you from doing this.
It's a cross mating with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They're instead of misogyny, they've moved on to being really worried about the reptile people.
And you may have missed giant alien face in the background.
Oh yes, a perv. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's a consensual thing.
Raptor on human porn being watched by cuckold giant alien face. I don't know which of the two is the partner of the alien face. I don't. You know what? It's their business.
Yeah, it might be the dinosaur.
They're all consenting interspecial adults. It's fine. Anyway. This is quite something. Complete shift in thing. The Missouri governor said he'd pardon the St. Louis couple who, these fucking twats who've never held a gun in their life. I mean, look at the... anyway. And I just wanted to bring this up to say, it's a point I've made before, but the right to pardon people needs to be taken away from political leaders in America because they've shown consistently now they can't be trusted to use it responsibly.
Maybe there needs to be like a pardon commission. I mean, I think there has to be a way to grant pardons.
Yeah, I've got no problem with a mechanism for that, but when it's so obviously politicised in this way, it's just... They've shown they can't be trusted with the enormous power of overriding the, at least in theory, justice system.
Yeah. Your OneDrive. Never mind. Here's the thing. I mean, I saw this and it infuriated me.
That's a proliferation of screenshots for like Prager FU videos and stuff. They got automatically linked to the thing. So I have to empty it out every now and then.
Yeah. This to me it shows it's white supremacy. That's what this is. I mean, this offer of saying that he would do it is itself white supremacy. But I did take a little bit of comfort in the fact that a pardon is not an exoneration. So if they were convicted of felonies, they'd lose their right to own firearms, and one of them would lose their law license at least. So, I mean, yeah, they might get a pardon, but their lives are still going to be fucked up because of their fucked up actions. So,
okay, yeah, that's fine. But still, anyway, just a quick PSA. Trans rights are human rights.
Yes, they are.
I'm just going to retweet that. I thought we already had. Look at the markings on this one.
Oh,
absolutely
wow, it's like a giraffe cat.
Glorious.
It's a giraffe.
It is. It is a giraffe.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Or maybe more like a tiger. I don't know. I don't really study savannah. Sahara, no.
Yeah. Yes, savannah.
Savannah animals. See, I'm so shit at this. I'm a city girl.
Yeah.
I'm a city mouse.
Harriet Tubman came into the news because Kanye West is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Now I've taken the editorial stance of we're probably not going to cover too much of Kanye just because I think he's just a mentally ill man and I think that would be exploiting him. But please take his microphone away and get him some fucking help. Would be good.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he said...
Although, I mean, can I just comment on, he did shave 2020 into his hair.
well, that's the actions of a sane person. Clearly.
Well, I'm just saying, like like that was like when he rocked out like with I didn't notice the flak jacket he was wearing, but I did like 2020. Wow, he's embracing this whole campaign. And I did see South Carolina announced he did not get enough signatures to get on the ballot, so he's already off in one state.
So he's not going to stand virtually anywhere. So it's if at all, I'd be very surprised if he stands at all. But anyway, he said Harriet Tubman didn't enslave people. Oh, so enslave people and sold them to other white people.
No. I can I correct you?
Oh, go for it.
If I might. So I don't know why he decided to come at Harriet Tubman of all people in this campaign thing. Like, why are you coming at black women and heroic black women? Like, I don't get it. But what he said was that she didn't really free the slaves because she took them from one group of white people who made them work and then basically handed them over to another group of white people who made them work. Which, like, actually I see sort of the point.
Right, but is he making the argument
that
capitalism is wage slavery? Is he making the very Marxist argument?
Because
that would at least make some sense, but I don't think, considering some of his recent political outbursts, that Marxism is really for him. But whatever.
Well, he did brag about talking to another billionaire, and he's going to give everyone who has a baby $1 million. And anyway. So as you said, someone is to
get him some help. Anyway, Harriet Tubman
was a badass.
Well, she was a badass, clearly, but obviously she's very old in this. And I just wanted to bring this picture up because I found it striking that she looks a little bit like E.T.
No, she doesn't.
She looks a little bit like E.T. in the swaddling cloth. She's wrinkly as fuck, is the point I'm making.
She led. She was the first woman ever, an African American woman, to lead a mission during the Civil War, where she went and she plotted it all out and freed like 700 slaves and burned down a bunch of plantations and like took out a bunch of racist ass white people. And she was amazing. She organized it all herself, ran it all herself, and did it all like with the help of black people.
And when she was younger, a lot younger than in this picture, she invented the twerk. So, powerful cultural figure. No, she's absolutely she's 100 times the person I will ever be. So when I make silly jokes, I think I just prove that point rather conclusively.
Someone had a really good burn, and we'll save it, but just remember this. I'm glad you set it up, because now I don't have to explain the burn. I'll just read it out, and everybody will know what it means.
Well, good. I'm glad.
When we get to mine.
Yeah, look at this crowd. There's a fucking big crowd. And so some of them were in yellow. But we've already basically talked about that. But that's just to give you the initial protests, which the fascist militia arrived to illegally break up, was like 50 people.
Dozens. Yeah.
Yeah, this is fucking thousands. Again, if you steal people, 10 will replace them. People don't like being stolen. America should really know that lesson from hundreds of years ago, a la fucking Harriet Tubman.
Yep.
Jesus. Anyway, cute cat. It's a cute cat.
Very cute.
This inspired a lot of people, this picture. That's some llamas at Machu Picchu, right? One of the great early civilizational dwellings, and high up in the Andes. Now, it's 3 of them, but that one looks like it's an arm of this one.
Yes, it does.
It does. Right? This is so disappointing after seeing this photo and realising that the third llama in the back and not the arm of the other llama ringing a little bell. Right? Which is funny. Yep. But this inspired a lot of other people with silliness.
Okay.
Which is, look, they did a drawing here. Oh, Barnaby, stop looking at that random Manchu whatever and bring me my tea and crumpets.
Like it.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
Then
Twitter can be fun sometimes.
Someone adapted that the 2 astronauts, one being shot from behind. Wait, it's all Machu Picchu. Always has been. So it's that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, that's just a silly piece of thing that amused me, if nothing else. Anyway.
Yeah. Twitters can be fun sometimes. Oh, look at that.
Cute cat. Going on about gay rights and stuff. So a good cat in a number of ways.
Yes.
I think it's on a gay flag as well. Or the pride flag, whatever. Anyway. Yes, Lauren Southern. She's back again. Guess who's back? Fucking idiot. Well, anyway.
She's an immigrant.
She is an immigrant. Absolutely. Anyway, writing in the Australian Spectator on cancel culture. And this sentence rather sums it up. Blah de blah de blah. As a result, I've been cancelled so many times in my life I can't even count anymore. You think, if you've consistently been cancelled and you're still getting writing jobs in major magazines,
you're not cancelled.
That doesn't. It means that cancelling either doesn't really exist or doesn't mean anything.
She emigrated to Australia.
Did she?
Apparently, her husband's Australian.
Oh, wow. Well, that's good.
That's what I read on Twitter, so it's got to be true.
Well done.
People were from Australia were like, no, we don't want her.
Well, I was about to say, why is she getting a free pass in there and not being stuck on Immigrant Island? Oh, she's white. Sorry, silly me. Anyway,
banana baby.
Yeah. A point I've made: these idiots went from wearing a mask is tyranny to the government can snatch people off the street in unmarked vans in 2 fucking weeks. Which I do have to just pull them up on, because actually there are some people who are saying both of those at the same time right now.
Yes, be accurate. The Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Is not 2 separate circles; they overlap.
This guy, I've talked about him before. What's his name?
Neil something.
Neil something or other. Neil Harvey. He's a Scottish professor, Tory cunt, just your all-round general right-wing hack. I liked the show we did, Coast, because it was basically a show about coastal towns in Britain. It was nice.
I've seen him do stuff on Scottish history. Yeah,
and that's fine. That's all well and good. But his politics suck donkey scrote. He wrote this article. Imagine writing this. If COVID doesn't kill us, woke will.
For fuck's sake, he's like Piers Morgan.
Yeah. Everything is so serious now. We're afraid to laugh, afraid to make the joke in case we end up in jail.
Jail?
Or a social pariah. As someone who's been recently cancelled, Mr. Harvey, you're still getting writing jobs in the Times and Sunday Times in Scotland, and, of course, aren't in jail. Shut up.
Also, if you're going to say something that makes you a social pariah, maybe think twice.
Yeah. And now I read the article and I found this particular little doozy from it. Do you know what I missed the most? This is from the article, by the way, right?
Okay, but Tony wants to correct us. It's Neil Oliver.
Neil Oliver, sorry. Who's Neil Harvey? Anyway,
no
Neil
idea.
Oliver. Doesn't matter. All these fucking white people look the same anyway. Right. Do you know what I missed the most? The sound of folk having a right laugh. That's what. There's nothing in the world better than being smack in the middle of a bunch of folk having a laugh, the time of their lives. The more nonsensical the cause of the laughter, the better. What greater joy is there than howling and wheezing with laughter gone out of control, laughing in the way that makes a person wonder for a few moments in the middle of it all if they might actually be about to faint with exhaustion, or to disgrace themselves in some other way born of momentary loss of bodily control.
If you find racist jokes that funny, I don't want to hang out with you.
Not just that, but I've never found a joke so funny I've nearly shit myself. What?
Well, we did get you to tears a couple times here.
Well, yeah, but I didn't lose bodily control.
No, you didn't poo a bit, did you?
It's just weird. And of course, look, if he was writing that from jail, he might have a point.
Yeah.
He isn't.
Maybe he has a slack colon.
Maybe. This is quite something, yeah. Deanna Lorraine, we talked about before, mental case, who's been abandoned by her family, if you recall. Ladies, if you see a man driving in his car alone with a mask on, I don't care if he's driving a Bentley or a Ferrari. He's not worth it. #no betas. So, as Takedown Rose says, coronavirus is killing more men than women. Yet men's rights activists are calling men cucks and betas for wearing masks. And here she is. She was a speaker at the ICMI.
Yeah, honestly, there is no one more misandrist than men's rights people.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they don't want to liberate men. They want to confine men within a very narrow definition of masculinity.
Yeah.
And then they police and shame anyone who tries to expand that definition in a way they find slightly threatening to their notions.
Indeed. Andy and Go, again, going on about all the Antifas are bringing knives and guns and hammers and slingshots and various things to the peaceful protests, yet haven't killed anyone, and yet more than 175 worldwide have been killed by white nationalists.
Yep.
I think it might
it's the same thing.
I mean, the fact that he's actively in support of those exact fascists puts pay to the lie, I suppose. Anyway.
Yeah, it's like Trump attacking, going after Antifa, meanwhile it's white supremacists who are actually committing the violence and committing the crimes.
Yeah, indeed. This one amused me. Jesus is coming, all over your mum's tits.
Is that Ken Ham from Creation?
I don't know.
Maybe it's not.
I don't think so, but I just like that. I just thought it was
yeah,
funny.
no, fair enough.
It reminds me of the lovely old one, was it? Jesus saves and Bergeron scores on the rebound. Which is nice. Yeah. This is brilliant. Stop stereotyping white people. Stop erasing white people. Stop erasing white diversity.
Oh, God.
White people come in all colours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Fair point. What the
Yeah, what was
Is he
doing
made of
that day?
straw? Is he going to go up in flames? The fuck is wrong with him?
I could while away the hours.
I've just upgraded my PC, as you can
flowers.
tell, because this is vaguely working. But mine's not as cool as this.
No, it doesn't have a cat in
It
it.
doesn't have a cat in it.
Cat power.
It has lots of
Great
pictures of cats
singer,
on
by
it
the way.
already, but it doesn't have this, fortunately.
No.
This was an artistic effort, which draws back to an old thing.
Oh, please retweet that. Please retweet that because I want that. Yeah.
And the duck's thinking, can he read?
Can you read?
Can he read? Which is probably good for the swan, because that could hurt an impressionable young swan.
That
Squan?
makes me so
Or even
happy. A squan even, or a swan, sure.
Yeah. This is a capybara running underwater.
What is it?
A capybara.
I don't know what that is.
It's one of the world's largest rodents, but it's very, very cute, and it's running underwater.
I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah.
Is he holding his breath the whole time?
Yep. No, it's got fucking scuba gear on. What do you think?
Look, I'm not used to seeing mammals go all the way and then try to run along the bottom of, I guess. That's weird. Yeah, cool.
That's awesome. Now, you'll notice the videos I'm choosing to bookmark, now I can do videos, are mainly animal based.
Yeah, but that's okay. I don't mind.
I've got
We need a
hamster
break.
bowling, squeaking cat, running capybara.
Where's monkey tennis?
Monkey tennis. Capitalism in one sentence. Dow jumps 550 points as COVID-19 deaths rise.
Honestly, Robin Hood tax. We need an American Robin Hood tax. Put 0.5% on every transaction. And while it's going up, why not? Why not tax things that actually are making money? They'll make the excuse, you can't raise corporate taxes because they're taking losses. Well, then fine, let's tax Wall Street and all the transactions and all the financial transactions. Just do a Robin Hood tax.
Yeah.
Because they're making money, so they can pay for it.
Or
right?
Eat the rich. Either one works with me. Think of it.
Don't taste good.
Don't think of it as a Robin Hood tax. Think of it as not being guillotined tax.
I had a whole conversation about violent leftist language, so I'm not going to touch that right now.
Yeah, but I'm doing jokes.
On Sunday.
You understand? I don't actually want to
That's
kill
true.
people.
You're not actually. Yeah, you're not like actually putting up guillotines on people's Twitter accounts. Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm just putting one up in my back garden for no reason. It's just it's a conversation piece. So,
It's for when you need to crack eggs.
easier than a water fountain, I found.
David Sorini's face on.
Yeah. We found this is quite fun. I showed you this tweet in the video earlier.
Yeah.
Glenn Greenwald responded. Now, again, Glenn Greenwald is a
Wanker.
twat, but still.
Yeah.
Regarding the apparent fact that the letter's organisers wanted to have me sign, but the luminaries actually in control cancelled me, I was never asked. It's been obvious from the start that the letter was signed by frauds, eager to protect their own status, not the principles.
I mean, he's not wrong. He's still a twat, but he's correct in this point
Indeed.
track. I'll admit when I have a point of agreement with someone, I disagree on other things, and he's right. They're hypocrites.
I've been defending these principles for decades as a lawyer and journalist, not as a way of protecting honoured elites from criticism, but by defending those with no power punished for their views, often by people like those who signed the letter. And that's an article where Barry Weiss went after Palestinian activists, trying to get them fired. Because she's like a massive Zionist person and all the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
That large number of the letter's signatories don't give the slightest shit about the principles of free speech and discourse. Many have been at the forefront of cancelling, but are only petulantly objecting because they now hear criticisms is obvious. Dozens of them are frauds.
Again, not that last statement, not wrong at all.
Yeah. All of that said, that many of the letter signatories are frauds does not impugn the principles they're cynically invoking for their petty, self-absorbed interests. I devoted a show, blah, 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 to its marginalised needs.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So, I just thought it was fair to give Glenn his right of reply, especially because he said some good stuff there.
Yeah, like if that was a rap battle, I would applaud that. I would have applauded those bars, just out of respect for the, like the point.
Yeah. I think it might be time to, fuck Facebook off, to be honest. Right now, you can run an ad on Facebook in support of the government rounding up people. Think about that for a moment.
Yeah, I make sure everything I do on Facebook at this point doesn't give them any money. I don't even look at my feed anymore. I'm not going to scroll through ads. I'm not even going to have them have that contact.
Yeah. This, Ben Shapiro's fans are real geniuses, just like the man himself. I used Ben Shapiro's argument strategies on my research paper for English class. Why did I fail?
This is a kind of old one, I think.
Yeah.
But it's still a classic.
Yeah, it is a classic. It is a classic. There's another one from the same Bigots Getting Owned account, which you should definitely go and follow. Cute cat.
Aw.
No other reason than cute cat.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time since 1956, the Ballon d'Or, which is like for the best footballer / soccer player in the world, will not be awarded to any player due to this year due to the break in football in 2020. And I just wrote, I knew the corrupt bastards at FIFA would find some way of robbing me of my rightful crown. Hashtag Kev for Ballon d'Or. Now,
well, they are corrupt bastards.
Some people might say, Kev, you haven't been tested at the highest level this year. In 2020, you've played none of the top teams in Europe or for your national team. Or indeed, you simply haven't played any football whatsoever. It's an absurd claim. To which I would say, you're thinking about it all wrong, okay? I don't play football on a pitch. I play football of the mind. And in that regard, I am without peer. So,
I would imagine.
Indeed. I am the
I don't know who else your
bullshit.
competition is.
Anyway, this is Bournemouth Beach that's just on fire.
Oh.
As you do.
Okay.
That's normal. That's totally normal.
What are people doing? Just standing around watching it?
Yeah, just like I'm at the beach. That fire isn't anywhere near me yet. I don't need to move. Anyway, because British people are fucking idiots. Anyway, speaking of idiots, Tim Paul's entire output of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
He's obsessed with civil war. He wants there to be a civil war. Because he can then go, oh, the left are violent. Anyway. Yeah, the guy who shot the federal judge's husband and son yesterday is an MRA.
He covered this. Yeah. Yeah.
What a surprise. And they are, as Laura Rankin says, or Lauren Rankin says, the MRAs are a misogynist terrorist group.
Yeah. Yep.
This one,
absolutely,
from the Bigots Getting Owned account, a Baked Alaska classic. The Democratic Party defended slavery, started the Civil War, and founded the KKK, but you'll never hear that in history class. Krang says, lol, you absolutely learned that in history class. And Baked Alaska says, I was homeschooled and I was not taught.
Well, that's not a history class, is it?
No.
That's homeschooling.
No. And also that's basically saying your parents were shit.
Yeah, as well.
Yeah, as well as you, yeah. Yeah. And that's how you become Baked Alaska. So don't homeschool your children. They will at best become slightly horrifically socially awkward, and at worst neo-Nazis. So maybe not. Anyway, coronavirus government, that's the British government, admits its test and trace program is unlawful. They were illegally harvesting confidential data, which is precisely what I said they would do. Which is why I have in the past and will continue to, even though this sounds bad, I'm going to advise people never ever sign up for this government's test and trace program because they have consistently proven they are not trustworthy with private data. Their whole political program is about stealing private data and using it for their own political ends.
The German app is open source and complies with the GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulations, by not keeping like sensitive data or personalized data. They're so incompetent. It's literally free and out there.
Well, no,
you just have to change the interface.
Again, it's not incompetence. They want to harvest that data. That's precisely why they're not going down the German route, because this is not about trying to save anyone's life. If it was, if they cared about saving people's lives, they'd have acted very differently from before.
Yeah.
It's not about that. They don't care. Anyway, this blew my mind. I didn't realise that the Soviet Union had amazing bus stops.
Whoa.
Yeah, look at some of these.
Yeah, that is really cool.
And they're amazing ones. Look at these.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
absolute beauties. It's a big fucking bird. Look at that. That's amazing.
And no graffiti, I notice.
Yeah, look at that. It's like a church thing or something.
Yep. No, it's really nice architecture.
Yeah.
Really cool.
So these are I'm just scrolling through these. Look at that.
Wow.
Our bus stops are shit. I mean, to be fair, our society's still going, so it's, a toss-up, I suppose. But still.
Right.
Awesome bus stops.
Yeah, quite.
There's loads of them. Look at this.
There is.
Look at this fucking thing. Jesus. Anyway, that's
a statue of somebody up there. Amazing.
Yeah. Cute cat.
Yes, it is.
This they found the Lincoln Project out now. The Lincoln Project's secret agenda is transgender reproduction, artificial wombs, and genetic engineered gametes to replace natural marriage. You shut it down, lads. They're onto you.
Yeah, I think, if we can just take a moment on this, because I saw on my Twitter feed, there was a big debate, a big fight going back and forth about the Lincoln Project and whether or not you could trust them, which I don't think is.
Well, that'll be based on the fact that the Chapo Trap House covered it and we're like, oh, they're all neocons, which is not a surprise.
There was a person I followed called Sally Albright, who was basically like, be suspicious of them. And then people were like, well, blah, blah, blah. And then there was a back and forth. I don't follow Trap.
No, you might not have, but the people on Twitter will have. If that makes sense. All
right. Well, it was happening also like with the Sally Albright tweet.
Okay.
And I think that I've watched, because I've seen them interviewed on different media outlets, I personally think what the aim of the people who are part of the Lincoln Project is almost like a repositioning of the Conservative Party to include the idea that racial equality is part of the American dream. So I think that in that way they want to repudiate the white supremacist part. I mean, they're still going to be conservatives, but they're widening their idea of what constitutes freedom. I think that is where they are coming from, and that's the fight they want to have, because basically they want to they see where the demographics are going.
Yeah.
They know they can't be an all-white party. And so they need to start competing for the votes of people who aren't, like just black business people, or the 10% or the 15% of the black vote. And to do that, they have to actually rethink and reformulate and rebrand what conservatism and freedom means. So I think that's the fight that the GOP is going to have.
Yeah, America's prime for conservatism in many respects. There are so many naturally inbuilt advantages. If they could stop being racist... Like, a lot of the people coming across the border are deeply religious, Catholics and stuff, right?
Yep.
Quite socially conservative, like the what parts Baja California, the bit of the pointy bit that sticks out from the edge of Mexico, just made gay marriage illegal. The people of Latin America are not necessarily the most woke.
They're Catholics.
Yeah, it's a very, very Catholic place. And often quite socially conservative. If you could stop hating on them because of the colour of their skin or their racial background or whatever, American conservatism could be unbeatable.
Yeah, I mean, George W. Bush, when he ran for governor, got a sizable amount of the Hispanic vote. They wanted to be able to compete in Florida. They want to be able to, compete in Texas. So, and then they want to be able to compete in urban areas, as well. So, yeah, I mean, they see the long-term demographic trends, and unlike Trump, they're not trying to live in defiance of them.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying I'm advocating like for them. I'm just saying I think generally for the country, the less white supremacists our parties are, the better outcomes will be. And we'll still have other fights, but let's not fight over whether or not Black people are really deserving of their civil rights and their humanity. Let's actually all agree that everyone who is an American, that we have these agreements about what it means to be a citizen and the protections you can expect and enjoy as your rights.
Anyway, a cat with hands.
I was not prepared for that. Absolutely not prepared.
As with the cross fingers would suggest, he's been expecting you.
Yes, quite.
And then a cat that looks a lot like Rory Katz but isn't Rory Katz.
Yes.
Rory Katz doesn't have the white chin, that's how you can tell.
Yeah. Well, if I can make a comparison. Sorry.
Go on.
Oh, you're done. Yeah, like Tories in Britain aren't trying to get a lot of guns in people's hands and protect gun manufacturers. Yeah. You guys aren't having a constant national debate over the abortion being an illegal medical option.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to get America to that point too.
That would be cool.
Like there's still, we don't have to fight all of these things. So anyway, so I guess it's my turn to share, right? If you stop screen sharing.
Yeah, but there's a cat with hands on the screen, so
it's amazing, is it not?
Yeah, I don't know if I mean, chat.
Ooh, can I take over?
Is it fair to?
Oops, wrong one. I shared the wrong screen. I shared my green room screen, which is just the Zoom meeting, and I did it again. Damn it! There we go, screen 2. Wow.
I can't believe.
What a night.
And now I've almost got my shit down. Kristi's brain is now melting. Brilliant.
Yeah, I'm not used to being on this side of things.
Yeah.
All right.
I won't be anywhere near as generous with you as you have been during my nonsense. Just know that.
You always give me shit. Yes.
Yeah.
Did we have the quartering quote in the last show? Do you remember?
Yes. There were various. Vadim's been going after him for quite a few days now. They've been back and forth. Yeah, the various quotes about him basically being a Nazi. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, should we just hear it again?
Yeah.
Him standing for Richard Spencer. Okay.
As part of the company's widening crackdown on users who espouse nationalism and other forms of hate. I don't know if white nationalism is essentially a hate movement. I assume there are hate elements in it, although I'm not the person. I'm not well versed on all of their.
But he's going to go to the PervCon and talk about politics and gaming.
Yeah, he's well clued up. That one. He's God. It's like listening to Chomsky. That's how thorough he is.
So, you did a whole thing about. I actually didn't see it on Twitch about Vosh and Peter and their little.
Well, Kristi, let's not bury the lead here. You didn't see it.
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Because it was streamed live and then it disappeared, didn't it?
No, it's still on there. It's not called the thing I wanted it to be called, but it's called the first stream because I forgot to change the name of the stream.
Your brand account.
Yeah, it's a very much a brand account situation going on. But I've now got it and it's there. But anyway, yeah, there was some drama. There's some drams going down on leftistness.
Do you want to give a little summary of the tit for tat?
Vosh, who's a loudmouth twat, but I think on this occasion was at least correct, albeit he's got the tact of a fucking drunk hippo. Someone asked him about class reductionists on left tube, red tube, whatever you want to call it, and he called.
I think we showed it. We showed it here.
We did indeed. Well, you showed it. Yeah.
I
did. Peter Coffin and Ashley, his wife, or her husband, whatever. Anyway, Angie Speaks, Glenn Greenwald, actually, having mentioned him, and various other people on the left. And there was some choice words exchanged. Asshole, freak, various things. It was not asshole freak. Those were two separate.
Those are two different.
Because if they called him an asshole freak, that would be. I mean, that might just be a compliment. I don't know.
This was after Vosh, by the way, just in his defense, I guess, said that Peter had never been anything but nice to them, and they had never been anything nice to Peter until that video came out.
True, but he is also kind of saying, yeah, but he doesn't really give a fuck about racism or whatever, which for a leftist is a big thing to say, I suppose, isn't it? But whatever.
Well, I guess the question is he a class? They. I guess Peter. I slided he, and I really apologize for that. But with Peter, I think the question is he was saying some of his takes made him cringe, and they have a lot of things that come across as reductionist, which is true.
He strays into that territory too much. Yeah, like to be fair, there are very few people. As I made the point I made in the stream that Kristi won't support me by watching. I made the point that you're not going to bite on that one, by the way.
No. I'm setting something up for after this because it's a nice segue into my tweet.
Anyway. I made the point that there are very few people who are like absolutist class reductionists. There are some, absolutely. But mostly it's people who stray into that territory too much and have too many takes that are a bit yikesy for my liking. They're all, like if you ask them all individually, of course they'd say, yeah, racism's a thing and transphobia's a thing. And they will accept that the various intersections of intersectionality are a thing, along with class, but they'll centre class to a ludicrous extent.
Yeah. So speaking of which, this was when I was talking about the shoe tweet. Vosh, what if one doesn't mean to be a class reductionist, but can't see how class is not the biggest factor in oppression and thinks everything else is ultimately a distraction? Asking for a friend. I guess racism is a distraction?
Well, of course. Oh, because old Whitey McWhite over there. This is the problem I have with a lot of the new inductees to the left, let's say. They don't appear to have changed a great deal, other than to have added
intersectional
slightly more Marxist economics.
Yeah.
But they're still basically kind of self-involved sort of bigots.
Mm-hmm.
Like they might be slightly better, but I cannot accept them. Not in the form they are. If they're unreformed, so to speak, then what's the point? Like, what if one can't see? Well, I don't give a fuck particularly what the reasoning is, what your particular mental block is on this matter. If you think class is the only thing and everything else is a distraction, you're a class reductionist, and you can go fuck yourself.
So say we all. All right, what's this? Oh yeah, Hemant Mehta was still having fights with the atheist community over the fact that they use offensive language and come across as assholes. So just a little hat tip to Hemant on that. Oh gosh, yeah. This woman, another Karen, this is the quote. "You're not going to treat me like this and get away with it," the woman says toward the end of the video. "I did nothing but not wear a mask, and look at all these Nazis in Nazi America. Nazi America."
Yeah, you know the Nazis forced 6 million Jewish people to wear masks. Oh they murdered them in one of those brutal acts of slaughter ever. And to compare the two would be not just historically illiterate, but one of the most remarkably insensitive and disgusting things you could say.
Yep. What is Nazi-like is turning out unidentified thug troops to
because there is a direct comparison between the beginnings of what the Nazis were to do and what is currently happening in America. At no point did Hitler come out and say, glory to the fatherland, and also wear face masks. At no point did that happen.
No, pretty sure.
And people would have been like, Hitler, what are you talking about, mate? Adolf, you okay? I mean, I know you're a bit ashamed by the moustache, but you don't need to be wearing the face mask. Just shave the moustache. Jesus. I assume that conversation happened. I assume.
Yeah, probably. Cat, too evil to pet, too soft not to. That cat just has attitude.
Yeah. Rory Katz, I fall for the belly trap every time.
Yes.
What's going on here?
These are people defacing the Black Lives Matter outside of Trump Tower.
Okay.
They've done it 4 times now.
But that's a black person as well, isn't it? And a woman wearing
one of them is,
and the pride flag with LGBT for Trump. Oh, good lord!
And All Lives Matter T-shirt.
Please go fuck yourselves.
Yep. Charlie Kirk with another thoughtful tweet. How did Anthony Fauci end up on the cover of InStyle magazine before Melania Trump? This is what he's spending his time on.
Yeah, the big issues of the day. Maybe stick with the wearing diapers thing, Charlie. I think that's your kind of level.
That's probably better for him.
Yeah.
All right, Amy McGrath, who's running against Mitch McConnell. The Pentagon effectively bans the Confederate flag on all military property. So they don't actually name the flag, but they sort of describe it in such a way that it qualifies for not being flown anymore.
I mean, it's a point I've made, and I will continue to make, I presume, to my dying day, how America, as a self-respecting nation, can allow the flag and statues and stuff of treasonous mass murderers, people who took up arms against the nation and slaughtered hundreds of thousands of American lives. I can't wrap my head around it. It's disgusting. Mm-hmm. It really is.
Americans.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fewer Americans are disagreeing with you at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. And that's not to say there shouldn't be some memorial to those who died, like at appropriate battlefield sites and all that. That's fine. That's because that's part of history as well. Confederate died at those battles. That's fine. But glorification via, statues of them on horseback, even if they're really funny, like that one of Bedford Forest that looks like a kind of Futurama robot, which is funny. That is funny. And to be honest, just for the comedy factor, I don't mind keeping that one. To be honest, that one's just
it's
hilarious.
Nightmare fuel.
But yeah, the fact that you would ever have why not have a fucking Hitler statue in Times Square? Why not? He killed probably about the same number of Americans.
Since we were talking about it, I think the Washington Post had a summary of some of Trump's more ridiculous, if you want to say that's being nice. What's that? This is my keyboard going crazy with my German letters.
Washington oops.
Yes.
He did an interview on Fox News, and even Fox are dunking on him now.
It's amazing.
People talk about the right talks about Joe Biden as if he's completely senile. Now he's losing it a little bit. He's lost a bit of his edge, but he's clearly fine. He's got a speech problem. Trump, did you actually? Someone released it. They released the actual test he did. Did you see that, the mental acuity test that Trump did?
I know it's available online.
It's so simple. It's like asking you to tie your fucking shoelaces, or it's literally one of the questions was identify the elephant, and it's a picture of a snake, an elephant, and a donkey or something. It's so. I mean, a fucking 2-year-old could pass it. Well, probably not. There's one word you have to read out words, but you know what I mean. You really don't need any semblance. This is literally: are you completely succumbed to dementia or not? That's the only thing we know.
To be fair, I struggle to count backwards from 7, but that's just because I'm bad at math. I have to really think about it. But I can
I think they tell the difference between someone who's just got a mental block in one area and someone whose brain is falling to pieces.
Yeah.
But Trump acts like, oh well, that proves I'm absolutely fine. No, he doesn't. He doesn't at all.
Oh, and then the owns. Just should we hit play and just go through the
exactly.
times?
Let the man speak for let's take our cue from the Joe Biden campaign, sit back, relax, and let Trump hang himself.
Yeah, so let me know on the levels how this is in terms of audio.
Oh, that means I'll have to look. Jesus.
Yeah.
They don't test. They don't test like we test. Is it possible that they don't have the virus as badly as we do? No, it's possible that they don't test. That's what's possible. Fine. We find cases, and many of those cases heal automatically.
Yeah, it's absolutely wrong. I mean, right now you can go to airports, at least 2, Munich and I think Frankfurt, and get a test and get the results within 2 to 4 hours. Yeah. Europeans are testing. It's just that the virus isn't spreading here because we contained it properly. We took that time of lockdown and actually made good use of it and used it to set up contact tracing and make sure the hospitals were staffed and, people adhered to mask wearing since at least April, I'm thinking. It's been going on. So anyway, that's completely wrong. But you can see he just doesn't understand the concept.
We're finding, in a way, we're creating trouble. A lot of people say this is because we don't have a national plan. You talk about states. We don't have a national plan. Do you take responsibility for that? Look, I take responsibility always for everything because it's ultimately my job too. I have to get everybody in line. Some governors have done well. Some governors.
So it's his responsibility, but then he goes immediately to the governors. And he also said.
He literally famously said, I take responsibility for nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, he says everything.
Not just that, but look, I mean, I hate to have to keep going back to the tan thing, but you can see his scalp under the thin front line of hair. Look at the shade difference. Jesus Christ. Blend!
And also, apparently, he wanted to have it outdoors in the Rose Garden where it was really hot because he joked to Chris Wallace he wanted to make him sweat. Well, who's sweating?
Yeah.
He's here all like.
Did you see this? Yeah, the short face at the close up at one point. It looks like his face is about to fall off. Look, it looks so. It looks like a fucking. I don't even know, like a leather bag they've just dredged up from the bottom of a canal.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, here we go.
Have done poorly, but we have more tests by far than any country in the world. But sir, testing is up 37%. Well, that's good. I understand. Cases are up 194%. It isn't just that testing has gone up, it's that the virus has spread. The positivity rate has increased. Many of those cases, worse than it was. Many of those cases are young people that would heal in a day. They have the sniffles, and we put it down as a test.
Oh, God.
I know.
Firstly, even if they are young people are dying in accelerating numbers. And secondly, they don't get over it in a day, you dopey bastard. And there's nothing to do with sniffles. Does he actually think it's a flu?
Yeah, he talks about it like it's a flu.
Sniffles. You get a cough, but there's not like a phlegm problem. In fact, quite the opposite. It's dry coughing that's generally the symptom.
Also, it's about the spread. If one person gets it and they don't actually feel bad, they walk around and they could be virus shedding all over the place.
But that's what I mean. That's why it's irresponsible to put this fucking idiot in front of a camera, because people will go, oh, well, if my kid's got it, in a day it'll be fine. No, you're supposed to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
If you go out after 1 day, you are going to give it to other people. Why not? Why doesn't America just do like a spit exchange program and have done with it? Where everyone drinks everyone else's spit. Fuck it. You might as well at this point.
All right, hitting play.
The coronavirus, I think that at some point that's going to sort of just disappear, I hope. I'll be right eventually. Say this, schools have to open.
He's literally going with the stopped clock method of governing now. I'll be right eventually. If I keep fucking up eventually, just the numbers. Pure random chance I'll get something right.
That's what he's going with. Yep. And also now he's, of course, wants kids back in school so their parents can go to work because he wants the economy to bounce back so he can get reelected. Doesn't care what happens to the kids. This is a party that's supposedly pro-life.
Yeah, exactly.
Kids.
Which governor was it? Missouri. The governor of Missouri today was saying the kids need to go back to school, and when they catch the virus, which they will, they'll just stay at home for a bit and they'll be fine. What? Look, to be honest, the GOP has become a death cult.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Quarantine your 7-year-old for 2 weeks and have them live in a separate part of the house?
Yeah, not just that, but anyone who's dealt with kids, they know what this is, and they are going to go around purposefully, licking each other. Because children are stupid and don't understand the full ramifications. If you put 30 of the little pricks in one room, or 40 or 50 because the American school system is crumbling, with one teacher who's stressed as fuck and thinking to themselves, I've got 50 pigeons waiting to infect me here, they can't possibly look after them or teach them anything useful in those surroundings, and everyone's going to get sick.
Kevin does love kids, by the way. He's just doing this for effect.
No, kids are fine, but they're stupid.
They are petri dishes.
Yeah.
They absolutely are. If one kid gets something at daycare or at school, most of the kids are going to get the same thing. Because they're kids.
Yeah. They
and they're
touch
not
each other
and masks on all the time.
Fucking play and hug and all of that, and that's fine. No, in normal conditions, absolutely fine. But these are not normal conditions.
Yeah. All right, hitting play.
People have to go to school. And there's problems when you don't go to school, too. And there's going to be a funding problem because we're not going to fund, when they don't open their schools, we're not going to fund them.
What the federal government gives is 8%.
10%. And you know what? That's a lot of money.
And you're going to take them, you know where the money goes? It goes overwhelmingly to disadvantaged kids and children with disabilities.
Think about that.
Not just that, but how reactionary is Trump now that even Fox News is starting to sound woke? like, dude.
Yeah.
You prick. You know this is going to poor kids. Like, you're not actually going to hurt any of the rich kids at all. Like, in many places, it's not going to have virtually any impact whatsoever. Think of the kids with disabilities. Imagine Fox News doing this. Even Fox News are like, come on now, mate, you're behaving like a prat.
Yep.
And they employed fucking Glenn Beck, so, you know.
Yep. Right. So let's see what Trump has to say to that.
Let the schools...
Why wouldn't you send more money so the schools would be safer?
Let the schools open.
And would you consider...
That's all he can say. Let the schools open.
Yeah.
Let the schools open.
But everyone else is an MP, so...
Yeah. All right.
And not just that,
a
but
national mandate.
Trump's such an idiot, he just had a Fox News host asking for more federal spending.
Yeah. Why not send more money to help schools open?
Yeah.
The schools got to open. Like, well, what?
Yeah, and that's if Trump carries on for much longer, fucking Fox are going to come out for nationalisation or something, like.
Maybe certain industries, if
Fox News, the home for socialism, like
Remferencerol or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Whatever remdesivir, something like that. The one treatment they have, it's there's so much request for it now that it's taking them time longer to make it, just as it's spiking all over the country. Okay. Anyway.
And will you consider a national mandate that people need to wear masks?
No, I want people to have a certain freedom, and I don't believe in that. No, and I don't agree with the statement that if everybody wear a mask, everything disappears.
I mean, it's only a proven fact wherever it's been practiced.
Not just that, but does something have to be 100% effective in every condition?
Yeah.
In order for it to be useful?
Yeah. I mean, that's the same thing, that guy who ended up with a septic shock who voted against masks. He's like, oh, it's not that I oppose masks, but how are we going to do it? And how are people going to get it? I'm like, figure that out after you require it.
Yeah.
Again, it's this whole, it has to be perfect or it's not worth doing. It's complete crap.
Is the Confederate flag offensive?
It depends on who you're talking about, when you're talking about. When people proudly had their Confederate flags, they're not talking about racism. They love.
He always goes to the white racists to defend a flag of traitors and slavers.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's where his voters are, let's be honest.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Like, his eternal thought is probably he doesn't give a shit. In the same way them hugging the stars and stripes, he doesn't care. These are just symbols. These are just not. They don't really mean anything to him.
It's performative.
Yeah, entirely. Yeah.
Completely. Yeah.
Of their flag, it represents the South. It's freedom of speech.
So you're not offended by it?
Well, I'm not offended either by Black Lives Matter.
Except he is, because when they painted it in front of his building, he said it was going to make the property value go down.
Yeah. Well, there goes the neighbourhood, eh?
Yep.
But not just that, but he's such a liar. I mean, it's not freedom of speech as such because you're not speaking, but yeah, a personal
expression.
A person can have that flag on their house. I don't think the government should step in and tell them they can't. But also, if the rest of the people around them don't want to associate with them because it's racist garbage, that also is fine. And when it comes to the government, not only even if we ignore the fact that it's the flag of a traitorous set of racist garbage bags who wanted to enslave
failed state
millions of Americans, lest we forget. Even if we ignore that, it's clearly offensive because of the racial angle, right? So on government buildings, it shouldn't be there.
No. And also private companies that want to have the widest audience possible.
Yeah.
Can say, hey, you can come to our event, but you can't bring that shit in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So that's their freedom of expression.
That's freedom of speech. And you know, the whole thing with cancel culture, We can't cancel our whole history.
It's not canceling the history. It's actually being honest about it.
This is the thing, right? The South has a long and storied history in many respects. If you're only focusing on 4.5 years of that history,
yeah,
I have to ask, why are you focusing on that 4.5 years?
Mm-hmm.
Why not the invention of blues and rock and roll? That was invented in the South.
Sadly, they left out the part in the front of this where Chris Wallace says, you understand that black people see it as a symbol of slavery. And Trump goes, well, I know a lot of white people who like it. Like, but that's not the fucking question, is it?
Yeah.
He wasn't asking about white people.
I wonder why in the recent poll he looked like he's only going to win 10% of the black vote.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why. Black people might look at him and think, I don't think he's got our best interests at heart.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is one of what's coming up is one of his more ridiculous meltdown moments, where he just has no good answer.
Said our children are taught in school to hate our country. Where do you see that?
I just look at school. I watch. I read.
I look at school. I watch. I read.
I look at school. Not even schools.
No.
I look at school as a concept.
When does he go to schools? Like, what does he sit and listen to?
Well, given his somewhat dodgy history with the Junior Miss World, I don't think he should be allowed near schools. So that's probably a good thing that he's not. But he's clearly lying. This is some culture war bullshit. He saw fucking Ben Shapiro being interviewed on Fox News and has gone, cancel culture. They seem to be talking about that. I don't know what it is, but I'll say it because, right-wing buzzwords. So we'll go with that. And the schools, they're teaching them to hate America, even though they do the Pledge of Allegiance every fucking morning.
Yes. Yeah. All right, hitting play.
Look at the stuff.
Look at
now
the
they
stuff.
want to change it. 1492, Columbus discovered America. We grew up, you grew up, we all did that.
No, he didn't. He never set foot in the continental United States. He discovered the Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he landed. And he became Hispaniola, which is Haiti and Dominican Republic, which last time I checked, aren't part of America.
Nope.
No.
So what?
And not just that, but
wrong,
the word discovered.
Donald.
I think there might have been people already there.
Yeah,
who might have a better claim to having discovered
their own islands.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, but then he gets, this is also another complete whiff on an answer.
Now they want to make it the 1619 Project. Where did that come from? What does it represent? I don't even know.
It's slavery.
That's what they're saying.
It's slavery.
You get a moment where Chris Wallace is like, I'm talking to a complete muppet here.
Well,
it's slavery.
I mean, in order to have gotten to that level, even on Fox News, you have to have some semblance of nous about you, on some fucking level. And he knows he's punching so much above his weight talking to Trump. Where did that come from? Did you think to check?
Yeah.
And not just that, but you personally, Donald, you don't have to. You've got lackeys. You're the president of America. Send one of them. Go, this 1619 thing. What's on the Google machine? Yeah, you know that thing. Yeah, that I can't really do the computer, but you go on the Google machine, check that out for me. Come back to me and tell me what that is, because I'm going to do this interview and I'm going to mention it, but I don't want to look like a complete prick by not knowing what the fuck it's talking about.
Yeah, and then so Wallace goes, it's slavery. And Trump's like, that's what they're saying, but they don't even know. Like, yes, they do. They know it's about slavery.
It refers to a year.
Yeah. When the first enslaved people were brought to these shores by white people, and you're saying they don't even know what you're denying slavery now? Are you a slavery denier?
No, he's a slavery truther.
Yeah.
Slavery never existed.
Slavery defender.
Because, if you look at it, that slave plantation looks like a controlled demolition, if you ask me. That's a little 9/11. That's a new 9/11 joke.
Okay.
You don't get many 9/11 jokes, do you?
No. Digging in the vault. Okay, here we go.
But they don't even know. They just want to make a change. And Biden wants to fund it.
Sir, he does not.
Look, he signed a...
Don't you love how he's just so antagonistic?
Yeah, no, he didn't say
No, he
that.
doesn't.
No.
Yeah.
Even Fox News, who want to set him up, obviously, they want to be like, Donald, here's your platform, say your shit. And it's like, no. Look, I can't, even I, a fucking bootlicking piece of shit Fox News presenter, can't let me lie that badly.
Yep. Pretty much. Yeah. No, sir, he doesn't. Like, okay, so it gets better.
Bernie Sanders, I will get that one, just like I was right on the mortality rate. Did you read the charter that he agreed to?
It says nothing about defunding the police.
Oh, really? It says abolish. It says fund. Let's go.
All right. Well,
give me the charter, please.
All right. I understand.
So, yeah, they didn't have it in here for some reason. But earlier, he was asking him about the cases rate. And he said, well, let's talk about the mortality rate. Chris Wallace said, it was 986 people yesterday. And then Trump tried to say, no, we have one of the best mortality rates. And Fox News actually put up the charts showing that the U.S. is like 7th. They're in the top 10 for mortality rates. Well, exactly, so that's not in a good way.
That's how it works, right?
Yeah, almost.
Like Trump literally thinks it's like a fucking football score. Whoever gets the highest wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Trump's data was only comparing European countries. It was a European document. It wasn't even like an American.
Well, they're the only ones that count because they're the white ones.
Apparently.
So.
Yes. So also when he said this whole thing about Biden said with Bernie that he wanted to defund the police and abolish the police, they did another cutaway where they said the president basically never got back to us on this because it's not in the document. We looked through the charter before we
got it. It literally doesn't say anything about abolish. It doesn't say defund.
Something like, he wants to move money like for into mental health services.
Yeah.
And Trump was calling that defunding, which is technically like what people who say defund the police actually mean. They don't really mean defund the police. They mean reassign the resources for community, management.
Yeah, the left need to get better at sloganeering because defund, people think, well, you're not going to have a police force then.
Yeah.
Which obviously, I mean, no one in their right mind thinks. Like even people who are for abolishing the police in the long run don't think you can just take the police away and that'll be fine right now because it would be fucking chaos, obviously.
Yeah. You still need like white supremacists to get arrested and tried.
But which might happen if you have fewer white supremacists doing the arresting.
Very true. But yeah, they basically fact-checked him twice and cut the rug out, just pulled the rug out from underneath him both times. On his
Which must have shocked some Fox News viewers who were not expecting, like,
Yeah, Tony, he's basically echoing my comments from Sunday. So if you want to drag me about not watching your Twitch stream, I had an entire conversation about left-wing sloganeering on Sunday.
It's different because my Twitch is a new thing. By the way, go and subscribe to my Twitch. I should have done this at the top of the show when people were still watching. Hello everyone, go and subscribe to my Twitch thing. I'll be doing stuff there. It's twitch.com/KFLogan1875.
Yeah, smash that follow button.
Smash the ever-loving shit out of the like button.
And give it a like or whatever they do at
Exactly.
Twitch.
Finger its bumhole. Go for it.
All right, and we've got like another minute of Trump doing embarrassing things, so we can get through this, I'm sure.
And we still have more than 100 days to this election, but at this point...
He showed him, they went through it too fast, but they showed him this, who's doing a better job. And it's showing Biden is winning everywhere, basically. He's got him like within the margin of error on the economy, but everything else is double digits. Yeah. Race relations, COVID spread, all of that. And he's saying right now, you're losing.
All right, I understand. We still have more than 100 days to this election, but at this point, you're losing.
Can you imagine? Boom. Just being
and that's the thing
that.
Trump, that's the one thing Trump fears.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be embarrassed because he's got nothing else.
No,
his family don't like him. His wife has at least emotionally divorced him. He wants to fuck his daughter, but she's married. And it would be very illegal. Not that illegality is necessarily a concern for Trump, but
for him. No.
But yeah, so he's got nothing else. If he loses, he will just be some broke-ass fucking chump who might end up going to jail.
Yes, So Wallace is basically in the Rose Garden giving him the latest Fox numbers. Fox News.
Yeah, exactly, Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't trust Fox News to fucking wipe my arse, let alone give me detailed political analysis. And if their numbers are this bad, and I've seen other numbers which are even worse,
Yeah, and I mean,
Even
I'll
I saw
understand.
what fucking One American Network, that racist religious bullshit news network. They did their polling, and they're even worse. I mean, they are absolutely fucking Trump ball lickers. They did their polling and refused to publish
The results.
Yeah, how bad must it have been that even One American News, with their fucking fudging of the numbers, still couldn't make it look good enough that they would ever release the numbers? That's murder. That's fucking murder.
So I'm gonna stand the Fox News polling outfit. Their methodology isn't that wonky. Their methodology is pretty straight laced and short. And you also have to remember, this is the same group, the Fox News poll, who this kinds of people who on election night with Karl Rove called Ohio for Obama, and Karl Rove had a complete meltdown and refused to accept it.
That was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He just refused to accept reality, even though it was there in black and white.
Like, I'm waiting for these counties to come in. The guys, it was two guys down in the basement going, "There's not enough votes, Carl. Like, we've done the math. Even if we get 100%, Obama's still going to win." They made Megyn Kelly walk down there so she could show her legs.
Yes, they did. Yeah. And they had someone following her down. I just thought she's actually quite a nice ass. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's not why I'm watching this, but it's still, there are worse. I'm glad they got her rather than fucking Bill O'Reilly to do it. You know what I mean?
But that was actually because she was wearing a short skirt. That's why they made her walk down there, and not one of the guys, because it was eye candy. But
are you saying they've cynically employed the use of blonde women, attractive blonde women, on that news network? Because I think that is an outrageous slur, and Roger Ailes deserves better. God rest his perverted soul.
Yeah, in the depths of hell, if I believed in those places. But yeah, so I mean, I'll just stand that Fox News polling is, I mean, it's right in line. I would consider it right up there with the ABC, Washington Post, or NBC, Wall Street Journal. I mean, I think a lot of them there are people, they hire people who don't care about politics. They care about numbers and methodology. So, okay, that was it. Now, how does Trump react to being told that phase going?
I can only imagine, because he's not a woman who would be too irrational to be in this position, clearly. He's probably going to react in a very cool, calm and collected fashion.
Well, obviously you watched this, so you know it's not, but
obviously.
Let's laugh at him.
Not just that, but even if I hadn't watched it, I know he's going to go fucking mental. Obviously,
Let's watch as he does.
First of all, I'm not losing. Because those are fake polls. They were fake in 2016, and now they're even more fake.
How does something become more fake? It's either fake or it's not. It's not more or less fake.
And not
it's
just
like
that,
being pregnant. You're not more or less pregnant.
You can be. You can be doubly pregnant.
Well, that's not more pregnant. You're still pregnant. You're just pregnant with twins.
No, you can have two pregnancies going on at once.
You're not more pregnant. You're either pregnant.
You can if you've got two uteruses.
Then you could have, you could be more pregnant. If
exactly.
But
checkmate.
People don't.
Yeah. No, he's just full of shit. But it's the same as it's been for the last fucking 4 years. Just say fake news.
Yeah.
Even when you're literally on your fake news network.
And
they're giving you their fake news numbers, even though Kristi thinks they're okay, or whatever. You know what I mean? They're giving them their numbers, and he's like, "Nah, fake news, fake news." So even Fox are fake news now.
Yep, everything's fake.
Jesus Christ, he's just going to have Alex Jones left.
Pretty much. Oh, One News America, ONA. He likes them.
Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, but like I say, even their numbers, they wouldn't publish. There's no. Yeah, they must have been atrocious.
All right, here we're going to wrap this up. I think we've got like 45 seconds left.
Pre-existing conditions will always be taken care of by me and Republicans, 100%.
But you've been in office 3.5 years. You don't have a plan.
You've been in office 3.5 years. You don't have a plan.
Yeah. But that could be said for literally every single topic.
Issue.
That could be a macro. You just press the button on the soundboard, but you've been in office 3.5 years and you don't have a plan for every topic.
He tries to claim credit for judges. but judges are done completely by the Senate. Like, he's got no, like, he nominates people, but the actual job of it is done by the Senate. Anyway, okay, so yeah, wrapping this up.
Not just that, but he nominates people based on what someone else has told him. So he's literally, his entire thing is he loyal to me? Yeah, put his name on the list. That's it.
Pretty much.
That's all Trump does. That's his only role in that. And yet he wants to be like, I've completely done the system. No, you haven't. You've done nothing.
No. In golf, he's done a year of golfing.
Yes, that is true.
He was out with Lindsey Graham the other day.
And not just that, but it's not just on the golf. It's not just on the golf course that he's been in a bunker.
Okay, let's try to get through this.
Excuse me. You heard me yesterday. We're signing a healthcare plan within 2 weeks. A full and complete healthcare plan that the Supreme Court decision on DACA gave me the right to do.
What?
What?
Yeah, what?
What are you talking about? What are you talking, you dopey bastard?
Literally, what?
Huh? This completely unrelated court decision means that I can now just make my own law? No.
Pretty much? No.
Not how any of that works, Donald. He hasn't learned anything. He hasn't learned anything in government, has he?
No. And you can't do a healthcare reform by executive order. It requires legislation and funding in Congress.
Yeah, exactly. Not just that, but you tried these workarounds 3 years ago, and it didn't work then.
Yeah.
Because they'll just take you to court, Donald, and they'll win. Because you're not the legislative branch of the United States government.
No. Yeah, and he lost his DACA cases. I don't know what he's talking about. But,
yeah,
okay.
That is
hitting
nonsense.
Play. Yeah.
So we're going to sign an immigration plan, a healthcare plan, and various other plans.
How will you regard your years as...
He's so specific on policy.
Yeah, just various other plans. We've got so many people. We've got the best plans. The best plans you've ever seen. Better than anyone. I've heard some people saying that they're better than all the other plans that have ever existed.
He did say he did more than any other president ever in American history. He did say that at some point during this.
Yeah, when he passed it signed the fewest bills into law of any president or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Although this is also, of course, a classic Trump answer, but just the question set up. You think about what a reasonable person would say. So let's just listen to it again.
And various other plans.
How will you regard your years as president of the United States?
So here's a question. Yeah, that's a question. You look back and you think, okay, like Obama can point to, he tried with Guantanamo, didn't get everything he wanted, but he got a lot of people transferred out of it. He got the ACA through.
Well, let's be honest. Trump.
The global gag rule.
Yeah, the big thing is Obamacare.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be his big legacy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So he's got. So at least he does have a legacy.
Yes. Yeah. So that's what you would think that a president would look back on in their first term, what they accomplished, right? What does Trump say? Oh, here we go.
I think I was very unfairly treated. From before I even won, I was under investigation by a bunch of thieves, crooks. It was an illegal investigation.
Just goes on about himself.
Whinging.
Yep.
I love the right claim that it's the left that have a victim mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck are you kidding, you people?
It's rich white guys who invented grievance culture, and then anyone who tried to take away their...
The thing we're looking at right now, the entire lost cause narrative is precisely that.
Yeah, that's a good example. It's a perfect example. Yep. And then everyone else tries to speak out. They accuse us of doing grievance culture. All right, so yeah, a little bit of John Lewis, if we're all right.
I don't want to keep mentioning great African Americans to sci-fi characters, because we had Harriet Tubman as E.T. and John Lewis looks a little bit Yoda.
Well, at least it was a sage. Yeah, E.T. was a very compassionate being. Yoda was a very compassionate being.
I think E.T. would have, if he'd had long enough legs, done an underground railroad if necessary.
Yes, I'm sure E.T. would have.
Yeah.
So Cassandra 7 writes, it's as if he knew exactly what we would need to hear when he left. So here we go.
Be kind, be hopeful, be optimistic, never get down. It's all going to be okay. All going to be all right. We're one people. We're one family. We all live in the same house. Not just American house, but the world house. I wish you well.
That's beautiful, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw there was a viral thing going around with him. He cosplayed as his younger self, walking across the Selma Bridge at like some convention, and led the kids on like a little march around the convention hall. And he was like literally as dressed as his younger self in the long coat and the backpack and stuff.
Oh wow!
And I thought that's amazing. That's really cool because he's like a congressman now. He could have his feet up doing fuck all, but he's like just doing cool shit. Okay, good man.
Another great video that was circulating after he died was when he was on the Stephen Colbert show, and he did crowd surfing. Like
how fucking old was he?
Like 76.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Stephen let him over. He's like, "Would you be willing to crowd surf?" He just let people pass him around.
Fuck it, why not?
Yep. Hey, an anti-mask rally in Columbus includes white supremacy groups.
I am
self-identified Proud Boys.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, imagine that.
Yeah.
Really is natural selection in this case. It's not a. It's what was it? A mask. It's not a political test. It's an IQ test.
Basically.
Yeah. Oh yes. Here we go. When you wake up in the morning after a rough night out.
Hey. Oh, bless him. Not even opened its fucking eyes.
No.
Genius.
Just sip as needed. Yeah.
According to Haruka, that cosplay was part of a promotion for the comic book memoir trilogy March. Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
I didn't know there was. I'll have to look that up because that looks quite cool. Sorry, yeah.
I've seen a couple people tweet this out, but it's always true. I find it ironic. I can't breathe is good enough justification to not wear a mask, but not good enough to prevent a black man from getting choked to death by a police officer.
Indeed. Yeah, just a good point.
Okay, yeah, a little bit from Tim Pool Clips here. And yeah, I think it's not a spoiler. I'm just going to say the worst thing about this video is that it isn't even an exhaustive list.
No way.
Right, so ready to what he's going to say. I'm just going to jack up the sound because I don't know how the sound is on your side, but okay, here we go.
And I'll tell you right now, I know I'd get way more views and make way more money if I did content about pop culture. But you know what? I just don't care.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of stuff on these podcasts he does, and he compares everything to like a fucking Marvel character or something. Everything. So he's got two modes, old Tim. It's either Civil War or Marvel Civil War. That's
one
it.
of the two.
Those are his two fucking modes.
Yeah.
And everything's the left's fault, obviously, naturally.
Yeah. So early on in early on in the pandemic, when people were starting to wear masks out, a lot of white people were getting shouted at by other white people for wearing masks. And I made a tweet that said, you know, this is really good for some white people because they'll see what it's like to not be white. You know, like they'll see what it's like to be harassed for having a hijab or for a Sikh wearing a turban or from some of the other abuse that other people live with every day. And people are like, that's not going to be true until people start getting shot. Well, like people are getting shot. Yeah, a guy at a store pulled out a loaded revolver from a holster and pointed it at a fellow shopper who asked him to put a mask on. The man said that with the gun said COVID is a hoax. Police wrestled him to the ground and disarmed him. But some other people have been attacked and knifed and other things. So, I mean, it's your whiteness won't protect you.
Also, it's interesting that they can take an armed suspect alive when they're white.
Yeah, that probably helps a lot. Like, in fact, 3.5 times less often that you'll have a deadly encounter.
Indeed. And you'll notice no knees on necks. Maybe they're improving.
I mean, he is straddling them, but he doesn't have his knee on his neck.
Okay, but sure. I mean that could be nice for both. I don't know.
Maybe, who knows? Hey, here's a shithead we haven't thought about in a long time.
King Arthur is now black. If it annoys you, good. Noel. If that annoys you.
Oh, he's complaining about. Oh, right, yeah. I know what he's talking about here.
What's he talking about?
There's a new Netflix series I started watching. I know the main character's name is Nimue, and the premise is before Arthur had Excalibur, there was a warrior queen who wielded it, and it's sort of centered on her. But Uther Pendragon is one of the characters, and Arthur is also one of the characters. And yeah, he's black, but he's black in the kind of way like, you know how like the Three Musketeers are just trying to be more inclusive. They're not trying to be historically accurate. They're presenting an old story for a modern audience.
Yeah. Not just that, but if they're going about magical swords, I don't know why you're expecting this to be a documentary.
And Arthur wasn't a real person.
Yeah. Like it's...
He's such a mess.
Yeah. No, to be fair, if he was a king of ancient England, he would have probably been a white dude. But it's not real, so why are you expecting it to be a documentary? Like if they did a show about Winston Churchill and he was black, I mean, that would be hilarious. The meltdown would be delightful. But you could attack the historical accuracy, because I didn't know the man personally, but I've seen some significant evidence that he was in fact very white. So that would make sense for you to criticise that, but this is nonsense. Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, who gives a fuck? But the thing is, you look at something like Hamilton, where Lin-Manuel Miranda wanted to, in some ways, I think, democratize the ideas of the revolution in a way that the Founding Fathers never did.
Yeah.
By actually putting people of color in those roles. And then I think there was I remember watching, there was a black woman who said, I feel proud of being an American in a way I haven't before. And I think it's because she could finally identify with some of the characters and their aspirations. Because those aspirations should be open to everyone. That's kind of the point.
Well, I mean, to say all men are created equal, so let's. I don't know why women think they can get involved in this whole freedom lark.
Yeah, and the idea that somehow we have to maintain all white cast is so. If, like I said, if it pisses off Noel Plum, good.
Yeah, good. Yeah, exactly. I say make all of the characters black from everything ever,
why not?
just to annoy fucking Noel and Carl and the Quartering.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
And you can see my little reply here. No Plum, still trash off after all these years.
Not just that, but if you do insist on having a white character, have a black actor white up, because that will blow their fucking heads off. Go full white chicks with this motherfucker.
Hey, the ACLU, Oregon, is taking federal authorities in Portland to court. Good. This is a fight to save our democracy. These federal agents must be stopped and removed from the city. Yeah. Absolutely.
Good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Cat on a door handle.
What are cats? What are they? Oh, he looks like my chopsy. Bless him.
Yeah.
But what are they? What?
Yeah.
Why is it chosen to stand there? That's so weird. There's like a back of a pickup truck thing that it could stand in and look the same thing and have like proper balance and stuff, rather than having its ass wedged against a car window.
Yeah, but no, they know what they want. Oh yes, disturbing memo reveals Trump's United States Postal Service chief has slowed delivery amid calls to expand voting by mail.
Yeah, this is not going to be a fair election.
No, this is why it has to be overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, people don't have an option of voting third party anymore because we need an overwhelming victory in every state to not even have it close enough to doubt the outcome for any reasonable person.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Need to make it impossible. You don't have to like Biden, you just have to hate Trump.
Yeah, exactly. That's my thing. I'm not going to defend Biden at all. I think he's a prick. But if we've got a choice between two creepy old senile bastards, choose the one who isn't a fascist?
Yeah, that's it. Like, just don't vote for the fascist. Actually, no, it's not enough to not vote for the fascist. You have to vote anti-fascist.
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah. But you know what I mean. Look, assuming you were going to vote for one of the two, don't vote for the guy who is
exactly
literally disappearing American citizens right now. Yeah, that would be, I think, the appropriate course of action.
This is actually the question that started me off on my master's, deciding to go and get my master's, because this was a question I wanted to understand. Was basically since 1980, which I mentioned in my thesis, it was a crosstab run in the New York Times by the National Organization for Women. I remember that from the introduction of my chapter of my thesis. that looked at the crosstabs of men and women voting, and since 1980, a majority of men have never supported the Democratic nominee. There's a huge gender gap, call it. So
yeah.
Just thought that was one. That was one for me. We already have the Kristi from yours, so we can skip the Andy now changing his story.
Yeah, total lie. What a lying piece of garbage. Sorry. Go on.
And then, Kristi, as she always does, she doesn't often tweet, unlike me, but when she does, she tweets things worth reading. So I'll just go ahead and read this out if I may. I think the serfs pretty well get it right in this video without commenting on any of the individuals within because it doesn't actually matter. The discourse around class reductionism has been useless. Does class reductionism exist on the left? Yeah, it probably does. Yeah, but for class reductionism, it is not an all or nothing absolute thing. People can be more or less class reductionist. Neither is class reductionist a synonym for evil monster, so chill. In my experience, a lot of class reductionism falls into this basic structure. See our dude. Hi, allow me to give lip service to intersectional concerns for like 3 ass-covering sentences, after which I will talk about all the ways we need to focus on class as the most important thing. And then we will discuss all the ways that spending too much time on other intersections is harmful. But don't call me a class reductionist. Remember those 3 sentences up front? Don't strawman me now. Do they even know they do it? No clue. I just know if you point it out to them, they will freak the fuck out and call you a liberal and mock you for wanting some, quote, more female fighter pilots, unquote, or some other shit. And most of the time, it's not even worth the strain to your eye-rolling muscles. I think a little empathy would go a long way here. No one likes to feel minimized or gaslighted as a person who has experienced way too much class reductionism. No one likes to be attacked. Left on left, be gentle the first time. Use compliment sandwiches. If that doesn't work, well... So, Kristi, goddess of wisdom.
Yeah, she is pretty badass, actually.
Yes, yeah. Here's Carl praising women who are going into embracing their femininity and getting married, and basically, I guess they're pretending like their straw man of feminism is effective, or is not effective, so they're changing. But there was also this great line. Progressivism is white supremacy with a guilty conscience. It doesn't even make sense.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
It just shows how little he understands any of the words he uses.
Yeah, that's... yeah, words are difficult, though, I think you're asking too much of him. For words.
Yes, to actually speak the English language properly and use the words.
Well, indeed, yeah. Well, I mean, Kristi, he's read all of Locke, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So Myth-Information decided they wanted to suddenly troll Robin DiAngelo, calling her a racist,
right?
Because she talks about white people recognizing their racial biases and how white people benefit from the system. So apparently, when white people discuss the fact they benefit from white supremacy and want to undermine that system and acknowledge their own racist conditioning and what society presents us in terms of racist priming, like the way that characters who are criminals are often black, and they show pictures of black men when they talk about the crimes that are committed, but they don't do that always with whites. They call her a racist for that. So this was also I was.
But isn't that the whole right-wing argument that in group preference and all of that? She's saying, well, yeah, there are racist biases.
Yeah, exactly. We can actually have a little clip here if you want.
Yeah, okay.
I have a racist worldview. I have deep racist biases. I have developed racist patterns.
I have to say, I was raised in the American history that's taught in high school is all of those things. It really doesn't deal properly with any of the subjects of slavery or white supremacy. So that's what she's saying. And of course, they want to strawman her because they are themselves massively racist and they love pervs.
Indeed.
So that's why I wanted to find the clip of us. I know, thank you so much for the research she did tracking down the last time we talked to Carl, because he admitted he was a transphobe. And they say here, we stated prior we won't platformed.
Did you find it?
Yeah, I did find it.
Good.
Yeah, now I have to listen to it and try to fucking find out 3 seconds out of that.
Enjoy.
Thanks for that. They said they won't platform avowed racist, so I wanted to pull out that quote of him saying he's an Islamophobe.
Yeah.
Or Islamophobic, or he just hates all of Islam. And let's go, you're going to have to disinvite Carl now. Because
I guess they won't.
Yeah, no, because they're racist.
Yeah.
You can see what's coming up already.
Yeah.
Penis. Just from I Love Lamb Still. Has anyone given Dennis his penis back yet?
All I want to know, again, as the CEO of Antifa, who's releasing our private plans to the enemy?
The left wants to take away your penis.
It's so true.
It's
so true. We want all of the peni.
Yes. So I think you covered this. The problem is in Antifa. The most serious threat comes from white supremacists and people on the right.
Yep.
Hey, look at this owl. As Thinking Cat writes, owls are the cats of the bird world. He's just chilling. Dude is just...
Did you know most of the owl's cranial cavity it's the size of its eyes? Got a very small brain. I'm not saying that to be rude, it's just true.
Well, I mean, if it's mostly look and find things to eat and then reproduce, that's kind of all they need, right? Just to avoid predators, eat prey,
exactly,
and
yeah, it works. Like, that's the kind of snobbishness that some idiot people have of, like, we're more evolved. Nope. Anything that's around now is as evolved as it needs to be.
Yeah, it's successful.
It works. So. It's still here.
Oh, we already did Kanye a bit. Oh, yeah, can you imagine? All right, so this is like life in Wisconsin. Northern Wisconsin, actually. But this might be in Canada somewhere. All right, so imagine you're like keeping an eye at your house. You got your security cam on, whatever, watching your house. And then this happens.
Oh, door open. What the fuck? Fuck off. You've got fucking house-breaking bears.
Well, you know, they can smell something.
Yeah, but look, he just booted the door down. The fuck?
Yes.
One paw as
strong,
well.
Obviously.
One paw. Yeah. Fuck you, door.
That guy's big.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's like the length of the couch.
If bears are breaking into your house, move.
I mean, it's not bad advice.
Yeah. I mean.
All right. So, when you send one too many dick pics and the cops get involved, you ready?
Go on then. What the fuck situation is this?
I don't know, but the caption is good enough for me.
Yeah.
No,
not just that, but white people really don't got ass.
Oh, you know, maybe he got like that whatever trapped around it, and he needed to have it.
Yeah, exactly. They had to get the tiny angle grinder out and
put it in waters.
Yeah, exactly. Soak it with water. Again, in this situation, this would be the least bonerific thing imaginable.
Yeah.
But, you know, whatever.
Yeah. So, a more serious note, Chuck Schumer, I support Senator Merkley's proposed bill to deal with the despicable federal actions in Portland by 1, requiring federal agents to ID, 2, prohibiting federal misuse of unmarked vehicles, 3, prohibiting federal agents in crowd control outside of federal property without the invitation of local officials.
Why does the first one or the second one need to be said?
Well, we've never had to worry about. I mean, it's just not like unmarked agents isn't a thing people dealt with. I mean, even back in the civil rights stuff, they had badges. You know, they took out that we had the
That's
National
the point.
Guard.
You said there's some accountability for what takes place. Because let's say someone gets murdered in this situation, which could absolutely happen. I've seen some violent shit going down. How does the family of that, and the person themselves, who's now dead, of course, get any semblance of what are they saying? A, B, what?
I think they're doing all cops are bastards.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was like, isn't it usually F if the stream goes down? But I couldn't. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, there's no way that they can be held accountable, which is the police's wet dream, of course, but shouldn't be allowed at all. They shouldn't need to be said. The third one is a bit more nuanced, I suppose. There's a difference between federal and local and all of that. But the first two is just so clear cut.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, another Lincoln Project ad highlighting COVID case. Just you know.
But why are you putting up propaganda for the organisation that just wants to have, was it fake gametes and transgenderism and whatever the fuck it was they were saying earlier?
Yes.
Look at those numbers. Just go back to that graph. Sorry. I think it's worth mentioning. Yeah. Look at the disparity
Yeah, we can start at the beginning again just so people get the full effect. You know.
Like, these other countries don't have anywhere near the smaller populations here.
Mm-hmm.
Like France and Germany, they've got smaller populations, but not to this degree. That's embarrassing. No. That really is.
There you go. Look at you guys taking second place there.
Oh yeah, no, quite literally, we're absolutely killing it. Awful, absolutely awful. And you'll notice everywhere there's like a fucking shitty nationalist /
right-wing
populist government. Lots of people are dying. Whereas stupid, fucking cucked, disgraceful, unbased New Zealand and various places like that, very, very few deaths. Almost as if pretending to care about the people is not a substitute for actually caring about them.
Yep. They're just talking shit. They're demagogues. This is great. Someone had a pen stand. They repurposed it.
Nice.
For an ice cream holder.
Also, that is impressive deep throat. Well done.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. Let's see. Atheism Unstoppable moved over some shitty, like, pay for service, whatever.
Yes, Censored TV, which is the one that I don't know if it was set up by, but the main star is Gavin McInnes.
Oh God!
So as whoever it was that just called it, was it neo-Nazi Pornhub?
Yeah.
Which is there's a certain truth to that, I suppose.
Yep.
And they got banned from YouTube. Dickheads.
Yeah, that was Thinking Cat.
Well, Thinking Cat is the weird cat person we talked about before, and it's not speech bubbles they do. Look, if you go onto their Twitter Avi picture, we need the actual. We want the picture. Look, they do this thing with the cat with the thinking bubbles. And there's like 1 million of them. They spend, frankly, an inordinate amount of time doing these weird photoshops of cats thinking weird shit, which I enormously enjoy. But I can't help but feel there could be something more productive you could do with your time.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy it enormously, but maybe have a wank or something. I don't know.
Well, here's something you can say to anyone, June, who refuses to vote for Biden. You're all right.
Yeah, that's fine. No, I'm just. Do you need a second just to clear your throat again? No.
No.
No, you can.
Just
okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vote like you're going to be. Oh, sorry. I thought you said something that I could say. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Vote like you're going to be pulled into an unmarked van by the secret police if he wins again. Yeah, but that would take June actually being a leftist and doing some direct action for her to be in any trouble of that. So she's fine. She's grand.
Doing some anti-fascism work.
Exactly. Probably not going to get pulled into an unmarked van whilst doing some absolutely dank memes.
Yeah. All right. Yes. So this was one of the other things. This is what set Trump off about the test in his. This is actually the video. Excellent. I told you I had some of these. Does the candidate have mental soundness to serve effectively as president? Yes, he does. Joe Biden, 47%. Donald Trump, 43%.
But that's worrying, because that means that whoever becomes president, the majority of Americans don't think they have the mental soundness. What the fuck? What kind of situation is this? America, come on.
Yeah. No, he doesn't. Joe Biden, 39%. Donald Trump, 51%.
Yeah. Wow.
That's double-digit difference.
Wow. That means literally a majority, albeit a slim one,
yes,
definitely affirms that Donald Trump does not have the mental soundness to serve as president.
Nope.
Ooh. I don't even say that's a 1-star review. That's nothing.
No.
That's a no-star review.
So this is where Chris Wallace takes a piss out of him for bragging on that cognitive decline test or cognitive test. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
People, who is more competent? Whose mind is sounder? Biden beats you in that.
Well, I tell you what, let's take a test. Let's take a test right now. Let's go down. Joe and I will take a test. Let him take the same test that I took.
Incidentally, I took the test too when I heard that you passed it.
Just pause for a second.
Hold on a second.
There's a picture and it says, listen out, and it's an elephant.
No.
Yeah, go back.
Yeah.
Look, so one of the questions is, which one of these is an elephant? There's a snake, an elephant, and an alligator. Like, a toddler can do that. A toddler can answer that question.
Can you imagine him watching this? Because they recorded it on Friday and they aired it on Sunday. And Trump had to watch them put the alligator, elephant, snake test.
Yeah, because even if someone says, no, that's a really shit test, who knows? But when it's there in front of you, like looking like a fucking a 6-year-old's drawing class or something, like, did they do the colouring in of the elephant with some crayons as well? I mean, yeah, no one's impressed by this, Donald. And not just that, but what? Fuck's sake, he's the most powerful man in the world, and he's saying to another old man, "Let's do a test." Look, have you not got shit to do in your day?
No.
Oh God.
No, he doesn't. Should we continue here?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
No, but
there's a picture and it says what's that, and it's an elephant.
No. You see, that's all misrepresentation.
Well, that's what it was on the web.
It's all misrepresentation. Because, yes, the first few questions are easy, but I'll bet you couldn't even answer the last 5 questions.
What was it? It's not that difficult. No.
No, it's really not that difficult. And you see, that's misrepresentation. No, it isn't. I mean, he couldn't see, but they just showed it on the screen. We've all seen it, Donald.
That's why they put it on the screen.
Yeah.
Because they knew he was going to, because they heard him, because they'd done the interview already. Like, yeah, let's undermine him by putting the picture on the screen.
Well, not just that, but they've got to stick up for their colleague, who's like, no, this is bollocks, and they've got the evidence that it's bollocks, so just put it up.
Yep.
Well, even Fox has turned against him.
Well, one of them was count back from 100 by 7.
And let me tell you, you couldn't.
Chris Wallace goes 93. He starts counting back from 100.
Oh, this is the finest minds in American conservatism. This, and they're counting back by 7, and drinking. The finest minds in American conservatism can count back to 100 from 100 by 7, and drink a glass of water with one hand.
Yeah, man, imagine that. Imagine getting applause for drinking with one hand.
Wow, the Republican Party's definitely gone uphill.
All right, let's hear him flail. Watch him flail for a bit.
Answer. You couldn't answer.
All right, what's the question?
Many of the questions. I'd get you the test. I'd like to give it.
Ironically,
I guarantee you that Joe Biden couldn't answer.
No.
Okay. And I answered all 35 questions correctly.
You talk about how people.
So that was it.
Yeah. What's some of the questions? I've forgotten.
Yeah, doesn't know. I don't know, but
I don't know, but I know I need someone to change my adult diaper. I think is. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, sorry, you're changing your adult diaper. Sorry, you want to finish your joke?
No, I'm done.
Okay. Cancel culture. Georgia governor files lawsuit to restrain Atlanta mayor from talking about face masks.
Talking about face masks.
What about free speech?
Yeah, where's my free speech warriors at?
Yeah, misogicon and your hashtag perv discourse.
Yeah.
Talk about this.
Yeah, this is... No, but that's fine, because it's a black woman, so...
Oh, right. I forgot they're all white supremacists. Yeah. All right, yes, this is when he brought up the military bases being named. And, oh, God, he just says so many dumb things.
Beautiful world wars. Unbelievable.
Yes. Yeah.
Either this man is a phenomenally cruel individual or a phenomenally stupid individual, and it's both.
Yeah, I was going to say, why not both? Yeah, I can go with both. All right, let's hear this.
Cancel culture. The National Defense Authorization Act, the NDAA, you have threatened to veto it because in the bill, and this is supported by Republicans as well as Democrats, it would rename Army bases named for Confederate generals. Now, this is a bill that funds military operations. It gives soldiers a pay raise.
Yeah.
You're going to veto that?
Because they'll get their pay raise. Hey, look, don't tell me this. I got soldiers the biggest pay raises in the history of our military. I got soldiers brand new equipment, brand new jets, brand new rockets, brand new $2.5 trillion. I did more for the military than any president that's ever had this office. Because I think that Fort Bragg, Fort Robert, and all of these forts that have been named.
Is true. Yeah, stipulated.
But even so, I mean, that's sort of bragging like, oh, we can bomb loads more brown people now. Okay,
Pretty much, yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Meanwhile, he's pulling troops out of Germany, and so I mean, he's giving them military money, but also withdrawing them. Anyway,
and sacrificing the Kurds to the Turks because he was nice to me on the phone.
Yes. All right, hitting play.
Named that way for a long time, decades and decades.
But the military says they're for this.
Excuse me. I don't care what the military says. I'm supposed to make the decision.
God.
Fort Bragg is a big deal.
I don't care what the military says. But he's a patriot, you understand? He really cares about the military, apart from if they disagree with him in any way.
Then he doesn't care.
But they're going to be renaming them anyway. And they've already banned the Confederate flag. So, again, Donald, this is really, Donald Trump is the last kick, the last desperate thrashings of the cornered animal, which is American boomer conservatism.
Yep. Hitting play. Come on, go.
We won 2 world wars. Nobody even knows General Bragg. We won 2 world wars. Go to that community where Fort Bragg is. And
no one even knows him.
That's why we have to defend him. We have to defend him because nobody knows him.
Yeah.
He makes no sense. He's like Carl.
Braxton Bragg, who's a very, very brutal general. Very good general, but very brutal.
And shit. No, he was shit. Bragg was shit, wasn't he? Lost a lot of stuff.
Oh, everyone. Well, no, he lost at the end, but I mean, to be fair, everyone lost at the end in the Confederacy. He won initially. He was thought of as quite highly, but yeah, I mean, fucking Lee lost in the end. He was still a genius. And again, don't get that twisted. I'm not saying he was a good dude. Militarily, he was very fine. Anyway.
Okay, I heard military people dunking on Bragg, but I guess.
I'm sure there are some. Look, everyone's got haters. Haters gonna hate.
Especially, and I don't mind if you hate Confederates. That's fine. Like
I imagine that Taylor Swift wrote that song specifically because of Braxton Bragg. I imagine.
I'm sure. Yeah. All right, hitting play.
State. I love that state. Go to the community. Say, how do you like the idea of renaming Fort Bragg? And then what are we going to name it? You going to name it after the Reverend Al Sharpton?
That guy lives rent-free in his head.
Not just that, but, I mean, no, you can name it after another military person. Even another white military person. Just not a traitor.
But what is his instinct to go to?
Yeah, Al Sharpton.
What's the most outrageous thing?
As if anyone's going, you know what we should call this military base? We should call it Fort Sharpton. Why not just go, we'll call it Fort Farrakhan. Like Fort Bin Laden. Like, you fucking absurd creep. Shut up.
Yeah, he is. All right, hitting play.
What are you going to name it, Chris? Tell me what you're going to name it. So there's a whole thing here.
So unless you can definitively say what it should be named, they shouldn't try to do it. Like, I mean, Donald, I know you don't care what the military says, but why not ask them? Seems out it's their shit. Like it's.
Yep. Why don't you listen to them? But he doesn't. I don't care what the military says.
Would be hilarious. That would be a great historical troll. Yeah.
Oh, Chris Yassi's in the chat. You got so much praise from us, like about 20 minutes ago, where we read out your 4-part tweet and you missed it. But we were giving love. We were loving on you.
We were. But now she's here, I feel like I will have to rag on her a little bit.
All right. So here's where he talks about the world wars.
Which I'm sure he knows a lot about as a great historian who doesn't know who Bragg is at all.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
So there's a whole thing here. We won 2 world wars. 2 world wars. Beautiful world wars.
Beautiful world. We love beautiful wall. Does Trump know what the word beautiful means? I'm not sure he does. No. But this, it's a minor point, and it's not really Trump's fault particularly, but when they say, we won 2 world... No, you didn't.
No.
Not I, nor you, nor Donald Trump, nor any of us, other than the very small percentage of very old motherfuckers who are still alive, landed on the beaches at Normandy or Okinawa or wherever. Like, we didn't do shit. Now, historically, it's worth taking into account all the rest of it. That's how geopolitics works. But we didn't do anything.
No, I mean, Doug Stanhope says it's best when he does his bit on nationalism, when people are like, oh, we fought the French. No, you didn't. I checked our phone. There's no message outgoing or incoming from the French looking for some muscle on a gig. I think we sat around and got drunk and watched bloopers. I think we should shut the fuck up.
Exactly. Yeah, Donald Trump.
I don't remember garroting crowds in the mud at Verdun, I think is what he said.
Exactly, yeah. Donald, you mainly sat in Trump Tower eating a fucking burrito with a knife and fork. You fucking lunatic. Yeah, that's what you did. You had an opportunity to do military shit, albeit in a very shitty war. Don't get that twisted, people. But he decided that bone spurs was a better idea. Which, to be fair, on a personal level, it is. But you can't then turn around and be all like, we won wars. You didn't do shit.
Then he course corrects. He realizes he said something incredibly idiotic. So then he tries to salvage it by contradicting himself almost immediately. So I just went back a little bit.
Okay.
And
here, we won 2 world wars. 2 world wars, beautiful world wars that were vicious and horrible, and we won.
Beautiful and vicious and horrible. Is this performance poetry?
Might be.
That's all I can think is that he's just doing like a poetry slam. Beautiful world wars that are vicious and horrible. Fire burns cold as ice. Like what?
Yeah. So that's enough.
This is like
Trump.
it's a 15-year-old emo poet, is what Trump is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
With makeup, with orange foundation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've gone hard on the makeup, lad.
Yeah.
It's not war paint. You don't need to put it on that thick.
Here's the best way of saying it, which is accurate. And I had bits of it, but this is all the information. In June of 1863, Harriet Tubman became the first woman and the first black woman to lead an armed military raid when she guided the 2nd South Carolina Black Regiment up the Combahee River, routing Confederate outposts, liberating more than 700 enslaved people, and destroying stockpiles of cotton, food, and weapons.
But Kanye West can sing about Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So, checkmate?
Pretty much. Here they go. Protesters deface Black Lives Matter mural in front of Trump Tower 4 times in the past week.
Okay, well, they'll just get cleaned up again.
Yeah, but, they hate cancel culture.
Yeah.
We have to stop this cancel culture. If you're going to defend monuments, start defending that one.
Javi, absolutely slaying it, describes Trump as the Tommy Wiseau of politics.
Yeah. Hi, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I didn't do a racism. I didn't.
I thought this was great. It's the Shakespearean insult kit. You take one word from each of the 3 columns, prefaced by thou.
Thou impertinent, dizzy-eyed coxcomb. There you go. That's the one I've gone with.
You reeky, elf-skinned flapdragon.
You unmuzzled, folly-fallen giglet. Don't know what that means.
Oh, sorry, thou unmuzzled sheep-biting ratsbane.
You fawning, tardy-gated skeins mate. I know one. Actually, I know a genuine one, which was you foul, undigested lump.
What's
That's
that for?
That's a real one. From Hamlet, if I recall.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just it's meant to be like just a lump of like solid, undigested food.
Thou yeasty, toad-spotted. What was the one I was looking for? It was pretty funny. It's gone now. I can't remember. Mold warp. Yeah.
You
hugger mugger. That sounds like
you
chugging.
Spongy, fly bitten gudgeon. This is not English.
Thou villainous unchin snotted vassal. Hey, they had beta males back in Shakespeare's day.
Yeah.
All right. So that was very big, and that was a lot of fun.
That's what she said.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Here, I'll read this out. Kanye is right. If Harriet Tubman really wanted to help black people, she should have just sampled their music and pretended that she was a genius for coming up with something new.
Ooh, burn.
Yeah. Earned.
Yep.
Totally. Oh, yeah, we already did Ian and his weird misandry obsession with policing men. Oh, just a dog that's tired after going for a walk.
Oh, look at those beans. I could eat those beans.
Sleepy, sleepy little puppy. Tired from her morning walk. Oh, yes.
I forgot, how's Eshy getting on? Do we know?
Who?
Eshy the dog.
Oh, I haven't, well, COVID, I haven't seen my coworkers since March, but I assume she's probably loving it because people are home all the time.
Yeah, people are home all the fucking time, yeah.
All the time, yeah. It's going to be hard when this, life goes back to normal. Yeah, Ann Coulter kind of endorsed a Democrat.
Yeah, we covered this. This was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, really? Well, April Ryan just had it up. Okay, but I guess she's just catching up. But yeah, Ann Coulter just dissing Mitch McConnell.
You get on our fucking level, April D. Ryan. Lazy motherfucker. We already reported on it. Yeah, she called out Mitch McConnell. She was like, "Oh, the Republic can't stand with pathetic men like Mitch McConnell," and was like back in the Democrat.
This one says on Friday afternoon.
So, fuck you, Forbes. Seriously, this was about 2 weeks ago. We covered this already. I promise you. I swear to God.
Right, I'll just,
if Forbes are 2 weeks behind us, they have slipped. Their standards are not as good.
Oh, they won't let me in without an ad blocker, and fuck that noise. So
yeah, who cares? Anyway, but that's a thing. Yeah, she went on a big Twitter tirade about it.
Oh, right. She's still on Twitter. That's surprising. Oh, yes. Meadows, this is one of the Trump administration officials, says the Trump administration is readying a new executive order to expand the federal takeover of cities based on alleged lawlessness. Attorney General Barr is weighing in on that with Secretary Wolf, and you'll see something rolled out this week. The fascism continues.
Yeah, it's very, very worrying.
Quite. This was the cover, apparently, of Der Spiegel.
Okay. I mean, I know what they're going for, but those two fires are very different, aren't they?
And the one he's lighting the match.
Are they saying he lit that fire outside and then walked all the way inside and that match is still fire? Come on now, Der Spiegel. You've embarrassed yourselves.
It's called Fire Devil, A President Burns Down His Country.
Yep.
Nero, right? Although Kevin will stand Nero.
No, I don't stand Nero. He was an evil bastard. All Roman emperors were evil as fuck. Okay, don't get that twisted. It's just he didn't fiddle whilst Rome burned. Mm-hmm. He wasn't in Rome. And I've told you this, didn't I? Why he got that reputation? Because after the fire, they persecuted Christians in killing literally St. Paul, one of the famous Bible saints. Anyway. So when the Christians then take over, they rewrite the history, and he was the devil incarnate, where actually he was just a pretty moderate, by the standards of ancient Rome, leader.
Awful autocrat?
Yeah, an awful autocrat in charge of a slave society. Yeah, but a moderate one.
All right. So, emotional switch here to something positive. Here's a man eating a burrito holding a dog eating a burrito.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, look at that. He's actually eating it properly as well. It's not falling to pieces. He's got proper little hands. Look at that. Lovely stuff.
Isn't that great?
And they're both just chilling. They're both just chilling like, you don't need to interact that much. We're just both enjoying a burrito. Nice.
Well, you don't need to talk when you have a burrito.
Well, exactly, yeah.
I mean,
and you're both just experiencing the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, burrito goodness. Look at how happy he looks on his face.
Yeah, that is. I mean, to be fair, he's eating a burrito. He should be happy. That is good.
Now I want a burrito.
I kind of do too, actually.
Oh, I thought you could tell me a little bit about this. I think this is in Ireland. And, that's basically, it's like you're Canada.
Well, the historical problems involved in that, I just don't even get me started. Anyway, yes.
Not Northern Ireland, just Ireland.
Yeah. Well, technically I see those things as the same, but regardless. There have been a lot of anti-abortion stuff and a lot of actually anti-LGBTQIA plus nonsense as well. And yes, the Day of the Rope is a specific reference there. comes from the Turner Diaries, which is a book. It's basically the Quran of the Nazis or whatever. It was written by an American neo-Nazi twat, and it's inspired dozens of fucking terrorists, including Timothy McVeigh, who literally did the bombing, which was based on a literal attack that happens in the book, which is about like a white nationalist uprising and stuff. And literally had photocopied pages of the novel in the glove compartment of his car.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the day of the rope is they take over California initially, the white supremacists, and they kick out all the blacks and Hispanics and all the rest of it. And then they do the day of the rope. They hang race traitors, and they kill 60,000 people and hang them from every lamppost in California, which is the reference. And if you do any kind of Google search for Day of the Rope, the Nazis really mean this. That's what they want to do. Even to white people, that's what they want to do. So fuck knows what they do to black people. Yeah, I've always said I don't just do anti-Nazism out of some love of other people, although it certainly isn't partly inspired by that. But it's self-defense. The poem starts first. They came for the communists. Now I'm not literally a communist, but I'm on the communism slant or whatever, the socialist spectrum. So I'll be in the camps before the Jews.
Also,
I'm a trade unionist.
Really
I'll be in the camps before the Jews or the Muslims or anyone.
Also, it doesn't really matter what you believe; it's what they call you.
Yeah.
If they call you a communist, then you're going to be convicted as a communist.
And they literally, it's a horrific book if you ever get a chance to read it. They literally say that the terror has to be random to some extent in order to keep everyone in line. So they kill lots of innocent white people too. But innocent, even under their, warped mindset. So when you start seeing these people doing like, we want to hang people, these people are garbage and they need to be stopped.
Yep. So thanks for explaining that.
It's okay.
Oh yeah, this is according to a Washington Post ABC News poll released on Sunday. Biden leads the president by 15 points with registered voters, 55% to 40%, and by 10 points with likely voters, 54% to 44%.
If that plays out across the country, it's landslide.
And that's what we need.
Yeah.
Because of the way that the election's going to get fucked up with the mail ballots and the post office.
Yeah, you saw it with Clinton, even though she won the popular vote, he had to lie and say it was dead people voting.
Yeah,
he'll do it. And he's already priming his people. When in the interview, we didn't actually see it because of the clips, but he said, "Will you accept the results of the election?" And they said, "We'll have to see," which shouldn't be surprising because he did the same shit last time.
Yep.
He's priming his QAnon army of dipshits to try and force, if it becomes like a Gore Bush situation, to put enough pressure on the Supreme Court or on the Congress or whatever to.
Or even on the local electors, the local places where people are counting ballots. Remember, it was a bunch of fucking Republican staffers down there in Florida chanting and trying to intimidate the Florida Elections Commission. Those weren't local residents. Those were fucking paid Washington, D.C. Republican staffers in their button-down Oxfords.
Carpetbaggers, I believe Southerners like to refer to them when they're not agreeing with the racists.
Yeah. This is the guy you're saying who needs pins in his hand now. The vet.
Yep.
Who asked people to remember their oaths, and then they broke his hand.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Again. Confederate flag poll is more a symbol of racism or Southern pride. 56% racism.
Yeah, that's a significant
35%. Change. Huge. Who else was that for that? Roger Stone. Yeah. Oh, we didn't even mention the Roger Stone audio. Did we? Did you hear that?
He said something racist. I haven't looked it up because, of course, he did. I'm not surprised.
He said something about I won't speak to, or I won't answer that Negro.
Okay.
In 2020, fucking 2020.
To whom was he referring?
The person who was interviewing him or something.
Oh, oh, Jesus Christ! Oh, Roger Stone, please die of natural causes.
But soon.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is great. Classic alt-right presentation, stunning infusion of progressive conviction, 10-10 for the radical merger of form and content. So, loyalty to Trump is not patriotism. Immigrants are America's blood. Black lives matter to this white man. We all deserve equality, equal justice, equality in policing in all things. Donald Trump is a fascist spewing white nationalist racism. They appropriated the whole QAnon approach to using your vehicle as a billboard.
It might need to be like, little things like that might be something worth looking at for the left in general.
Yeah.
We don't have to get down in the mud and wrestle like they do, but we can present better.
Yes. You want to read this out?
You can choose not to wear a mask. Then you also must remove all your clothes to enter. It's all or nothing. It's about choices. Thank you. The management. Me wow. That's fair.
There you go.
Yeah. Black and white. Easy to understand.
You're in or you're out. Or you're closed.
Well, unless you're doing a protest, in which case you can have nothing but the hat. The hat is allowed.
I think this was a cat video. I can try to pull it up if it might be gone.
Yeah, let's...
Oh, no.
It's dogs? Okay.
It's just... okay.
Oh, yeah, I saw this one, yeah.
Yeah, this cat is sort of like pawing itself and also pawing the dog. I'm so big.
Yeah, you're really intimidating there, cat.
Yeah. So cat video.
That dog could sit on that cat and squish it.
Yes. This is a cat
that's a very tolerant
cat.
Rory cats would have been freaking out the second they came in the room.
Let alone all of this.
Yeah, that's intense.
That is a lot of love at one time, I have to say.
That is a bit much. Yeah.
Oh yes, this is Congresswoman, Maxine Waters. She saw someone got pulled over. I'll just let her say for herself because she explains what she's doing here.
You pulled over!
Oh God, that was so loud. Apologies.
I don't apologize. Fuck you.
Okay. They stopped a brother, so I stopped to see what they were doing.
Okay, that's cool.
And she goes on.
Okay. So they say I'm in the wrong place, say they're going to give me a ticket. That's okay, as long as I watch this. Gotta do it.
So they're going to give her a ticket for parking there. She's like, that's fine, you can give me a ticket, I'm staying and watching.
Yeah.
I love her. She's so fierce.
She's pretty badass, yeah.
Yep.
DCA 43.
Yep. 3 of the House committee chairs are demanding internal administrations, and that's through the IG, not from Trump. So they're asking the independent inspectors general to start investigating whether the Justice Department and Homeland Security abuse their emergency authorities. So this will be the basis of congressional investigations and possibly charges going forward.
Oh, I do hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's clearly and obviously an abuse of power.
Yeah. Speaking of which, dear Americans, go ahead. Vote for the guy with the loud voice who hates minorities, threatens to imprison his opponents, doesn't give a fuck about democracy, and claims he alone can fix everything. What could possibly go wrong? Good luck, the people of Germany.
But I mean, I get that. And that's going to appeal to a lot of people. But to Trump's base, they're like, yeah, awesome.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he is like Hitler.
The rest of us.
He is like Hitler, and we like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's sadly true. Oh, yeah. Stephen Miller
Talking
is now
of people who are like Hitler, Stephen Miller.
Yes. He's now on the Southern Poverty Law Center's list of extremists.
Should have been there a long time ago. Yeah, but I mean, that's fair. Yeah, good.
Yeah. Moms Against Brutality. These were the moms. I know, again, don't know what the volume is. I think I can have
some
a
of which
bit
are dressed like
this.
minions, which is nice.
Yes. Maybe that was a costume call.
Yeah,
Minions.
Exactly. I can't. Yeah, you can't baton charge a line of minions.
Or apparently an exposed vagina, or
an exposed vagina. Yeah. Which in
well, it's not actually the vagina. It was actually all the parts that go around the vagina, because the vagina is the gap. But whatever.
Well, the legs were spread. The vagina was there.
Well, yeah, I guess it was. Okay. Anyway, here they are protesting.
Cool.
I I ate something. I thought that video was longer.
Oh, okay. I was about to say. I mean, because you're controlling the pausing and stuff. So, I mean.
Yeah, I thought it was longer than 5 seconds. Here they are again.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got sunflowers.
The Minion crew.
The Minion crew, yes. The Minion moms. Let's see. What's next? Oh, yeah, this is a video that Ian Miles Chong was hating on. And I don't understand why, because it's just these lovely little kitties that just want to cuddle all the time.
Yeah, that's just nice.
It's a long video, though, so we're not going to be able to watch it, but there's a lot of love going on.
Aww. That's so fluffy.
Yeah, so much fluff.
It looks so soft.
Look at that. Look how much it loves being combed. My cat hates that. My cats, when I had them, hate that.
Rory loves being combed. Oh, my God.
Yeah?
If I get the comb out, he goes fucking mental for it. Oh, look at that. What do you mean personal space, motherfucker?
Yeah. Well, as goes on. Yep.
Oh.
Guess I'll know.
Okay, we don't have time for this. Come on now.
All right, moving on.
We've seen enough of this cute mop.
Yes, enough of this cuteness. Let's move on. Oh, right. Yes, thousands across the U.S. are set to walk off their jobs in strike for Black lives. Organizers say economic equality and systemic racism have only worsened since the pandemic. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. The people who are on the front lines more, I mean, people like me who can have a job where I can telecommute, I'm not the kind of, people who are at risk. And people who have those jobs, those sort of, customer-facing or front-facing jobs, a lot of times those are Black and brown people.
Yeah.
So they're much, much, much higher risk. They're the bus drivers, they're the nurses, they're helping out, doing all that work. Go ahead. Yeah.
A completely unrelated point, but Tony makes a good point about them comparing Hitler to Trump, or Trump to Hitler. Some of those people who would like that think that Hitler was a socialist. So maybe that might turn them against Trump because they think that Hitler was a socialist and therefore maybe Trump's a socialist.
Yes.
Oh, the QAnon pieces fall into place.
Oh yeah, your report on Russian interference is going to be published.
This is a much huger story than might first appear. We talked about Chris Grayling was going to be put in charge of the Foreign Affairs Select Committee. Even Tory MPs rebelled against that because they knew he was going to be a stooge. They elected a different Tory who immediately had the whip removed from him. So you can be racist, you can be credibly accused of sexual assault, but Boris Johnson won't remove the whip from those people. But if you dare to defy him in any way whatsoever, whip removed. Very fascistic in many respects. Anyway, so he became the chair of the Home Affairs Select Committee and is now set to publish the Russia report. And apparently, it's going to show there was some interference with the elections, which is not surprising. It's just was there any vague collusion involved? Was there any prompting involved? I don't know, but I mean, everyone expects that the Russians are going to interfere. We need to protect against it.
Biden has started receiving security briefings.
Right.
Came out and said the Russians are interfering with 2020.
Of course they are.
He's like, yeah. But of course, who's not saying that and who's known this entire time? Trump.
Yeah. And had the power and resources to be able to counteract it. And chosen not to because it suits his purposes.
Exactly. Sleepy kitty.
Aww. It looks fucking stoned.
It does. Maybe it was, contact.
Have you ever thought about the universe and stuff?
Yes. Would you bite the hand that feeds you? Ah.
That is vicious. Brutal violence.
Oh God, yeah. Ben Shapiro is being a racist on Fox News. Unsurprisingly, he's saying a plurality of Black Americans believe the founders were villains rather than heroes. Well, let's
describe the founders as heroes.
That's a stupid fucking question. What you're basically doing is blaming people for the wording given to them by the survey givers.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue they would have gone unsure, but I mean, a lot of them were slave owners. What do you expect Black people to fucking say? I mean, it's just a shame that a lot of white people wouldn't say it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and this is, this is, here, I don't actually know that he has the numbers on what broken out by ethnic background. He's just making these assumptions, possibly, unless he saw the crosstab. But even so, that's just a shit question.
Not just that, but did you notice he's wearing his extra massively large yarmulke for this episode?
I didn't.
Big yarmulke.
Oh, is that it there? Is that it? The tip of it?
He usually wears like a little one. But this one, he's got his big one on to show everyone.
His identity politics.
Look, I'm the best of the Jews. Look how big my yarmulke is.
Because I hate identity politics.
Yeah, but he's Well, so does Dave Rubin, the gay Jew, that constantly talks about how gay and Jewish he is, but hates identity politics.
So earlier, I kind of defended Fox News when it came to actually good, well-worded political questions, if the election were held today. Whom do you think you would vote for, or would you not vote? This one is shit. This is a trash question. It really is. Depends. What the fuck does that mean?
Well, now you know why I don't.
It's literally a meaningless category.
I don't trust them. I just don't trust them.
I mean, I think again, I think it's more of a case by case basis because I think they try to track their questions so they're comparable with other.
Kristi.
When it comes to politics, but they don't mess with the numbers. They just ask.
I take my lead from cat cafes. It's all or nothing.
Yes. Okay. There you go. We already did this one.
Yep.
Oh, did you want to mention a little bit? This is way too late, but finally happening.
Yeah, they're going to ban gay conversion therapy, which is good. Yeah.
Good.
Because it was seen as like a religious thing or whatever. But obviously,
it's torture.
It is torture. Yeah. So that's going to happen. Good. And the push to ban or to try and shit on trans rights. I think even Johnson's like, no, that's you're so far behind the times on this one that it's been known that if they did ever bring forward a private member's bill, the government would vote against it. So.
Oh, good. That's great. We are getting there.
Johnson is a bigoted prick, but knows that wouldn't sit well with people. So it shows, I think, that the British public are ahead of the Conservative Party on this one, unsurprisingly.
Yeah, very true. I'm sure it is. You remember how now everybody's upset about cancel culture? Oh, cancel culture. You can't punish people by denying them employment because of their views. Remember that?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's hear what Carl has to say here. Oh, I can judge it because Carrier doesn't say
this plan of yours.
Yeah, we don't hire feminists.
Who's we?
Anyone who's in a position to hire someone. It becomes a social taboo. In the same way as hiring Nazis.
Isn't it kind of witch hunting though? I mean, how do you even figure this out through applications?
Good question. I guess you can look at their timeline on Twitter.
Yeah,
like everyone does. If they're screaming "white men are the problem," no, thank you.
I don't see any practical way to implement that plan.
How do we keep Nazis out of our institutions? Well, same method for feminists.
But it doesn't work because no one's.
It doesn't work.
Well, no one goes around wearing swastikas on their heads. So how are you going to identify?
And it's amazing how many Nazis they find, though, isn't it?
So here's the problem. They weren't. So this gets the whole issue of that's why that would be bad because not all feminists are adopting the ideology they're talking about. So. Just like not all people who get called Nazis are actual Nazis, right? You acknowledge the discrimination is there.
So we're not going back to talking about discrimination, Richard. We've passed this.
There you go. Carl is canceling anyone who's a feminist. He's going to screen and go through your social media to deny you work.
Yeah. So again, free speech. Yeah.
Yep. But he hates cancel culture.
Yeah. Well, of course. Yeah. When it suits him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any one of these motherfuckers that's ever been actually consistent?
No, of course not. No. I actually saw this. Somebody retweeted Rick Wilson saying, "You hate to see it." The Jacksonville, that's where they're having the Republican National Convention, remember? Jacksonville Sheriff Mike Williams says he can't pull off security at the Republican Convention because the plans aren't clear, funding is a challenge, time is running short, and he can't get enough officers to help out.
Oh. Wouldn't it be a shame if they didn't do it?
What a shit show!
Wouldn't it be a shame if they still bent the knee to get the same, to have to go through the same rules that they banned, that they decided to move from Carolina or North Carolina, whatever.
Oh,
and then still couldn't have it. Almost as if they're completely full of shit, you know.
They stayed in North Carolina, they'd be much better off than if they'd moved it to Florida where there's a hot spot.
And it's rare that you can say if they'd stayed in North Carolina they'd been in a better place.
Well, they would have been in a safer place if nothing else. DHS planning to deploy 150 federal agents to Chicago. I think we covered that already. Trump saying, it's going to be New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Detroit, Baltimore, Oakland, and other cities that he determines has unrest. And he thinks in Portland they've done a fantastic job.
Because he's a fascist piece of garbage, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because he's a fascist piece of garbage. There we go. There's Trump's stormtroopers, basically.
That's an occupying force. That's not police, is it?
Yeah. Nope. Oh, these are. Hey, look at you guys have your own Kens and Karens. Look at.
Yeah, crazy bastards turned up to Hyde Park. Is that Hyde Park? I'm not sure. Anyway, somewhere.
Yeah, it said.
Hyde Park.
It says Hyde Park.
Yeah. So, but by the edge of Hyde Park where there are buildings. Anyway, and a lot of like QAnon type people. Although I'm not sure QAnon's really a thing here. It's more American. But they were like anti-5G people. And look at this. Look at this knob. Look at all of these fucking idiots. Look, yeah, that's not gross as fuck. No, do that. Yeah, brilliant.
Save human rights, no to 5G, no to vaccinations. Yeah, see how that's going to work out for you, mate.
The master race right there.
Yeah.
Who says white people don't have a culture? Come on now. Look, his face looks like it's fucking falling off.
This guy or Trump?
No, Trump. No, that guy looks inbred. Well, they both do, to be honest. But I mean, look at the initial shot. Look at that. His face is fucking dripping.
Yeah, it is melting off. It's like the Indiana Jones thing, isn't it?
Well, you can take the jacket off. Lose your tie a bit. That's fine.
Making a point.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz decided to get into a debate with Mark Cuban.
Oh, the basketball owner.
Yeah.
Champ, yeah.
Yep, because someone wrote, I'm so ready to be in on this year's Maverick home stretch. So much promise, so much personality. But the minute one player kneels during the anthem, I'm out. And then they go on, surely Mark Cuban, blah, blah, blah. And Mark's like, bye.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark Cuban don't give a fuck.
No.
Mark Cuban's, I mean, I don't agree with him on a lot of things, but he's pretty badass. Like, he's not going to give a shit.
Nope.
Fuck you.
And then Ted Cruz decides to subtweet him by taking a picture of it and putting that out, writing, really? The NBA is telling everyone who stands for the flag, who honors our cops and our veterans to piss off in Texas, no less? Good luck with that. Can you fucking read? The guy was talking about taking a knee.
Yeah, he didn't say anything. Yeah, what the fuck? And not just that, but he's saying to one guy, if you don't want to come, okay, bye. That's What's that got to? That extrapolation is farcical, Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Go back to watching weird porn involving people who look like your wife.
And so then Mark Cuban finds out, he's subtweeting him. He's like, have some balls for once, Ted. Speak to me. It's my tweet.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Ted Cruz is pathetic. Oh, Jacob Wall. We haven't had a bit of Wall action in a while.
Yeah, well, I was going to bring this up. The Mark Cuban story to be continued. Eric Weinstein, Stein, I guess it was Stein in German.
Oh, the one that cancelled Glenn Greenwald. Okay,
yes,
that guy.
Yeah, that one. A surprising number of left-leaning people are confiding to me that they are planning to vote for Trump for two different stated leading reasons. A, Biden's mental decline. B, what is happening in the Pacific Northwest versus Democratic mayors and governors experimenting with non-policing.
Experimenting with non-policing? What are you talking about, you absolute fucking spoon?
Yeah, and so then Don here replies, California is not going to slow the spread of COVID-19 until it shuts down these hipster coffee shops.
It's true. It's America and proud. You're quite right, Jacob.
That was so good. Yeah, so everyone's
Jacob Wall's so proud of being American that even when he claims to be abroad, he's still in America. That's how much he loves America.
He won't ever leave it. He'll just pretend to and take your money.
Because he's scared that they might not let him back in. Because he's been rejected by a lot of people.
I think this is one of the last ones. Ted Cruz comes back with, speaking of balls, tell us what you think about China. I'll wait.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck is... I genuinely, I am baffled.
Confused. Bemused.
Yeah, I don't... has Mark Cuban been a big fan of the Chinese Communist Party or something?
No idea.
That's very, very peculiar. Why didn't he reply, well, what do you think of Burundi? We can all get weird with it, Ted.
Yes. So then Ted Cruz says, still no answer from Mark Cuban. Let's try simpler. Mark, tough guy. Can you say free Hong Kong? Can your players put on that on their jersey?
Oh, right. Yes, okay.
Can you condemn the... Yeah. Go ahead.
No, finish Ted Cruz's absolutely smooth brain nonsense. Go on.
Can you condemn the CCP's concentration camps with 1 million Uyghurs? Can you say anything other than Chairman Mao is beautiful and wise?
I've not heard Mark Cuban's every utterance, but has he ever said Chairman Mao is beautiful and wise? Because that would be a weird thing for a multi-fucking-billionaire to say, really, but whatever. And I'm hazarding a guess that Ted Cruz really cares for the Uyghur Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
Does he even know they're Muslims? I don't know, but I'm sure he doesn't really give two fucks. Okay, so he's going on about the whole thing with the start of the basketball season when they had the Chinese government kicked up a bit of a fuss and all the rest of it. What are we looking at? What?
I don't know. Someone was saying Michael Brooks has died.
What?
I was going
to... he of the Michael Brooks show.
Yeah,
took
that
down
was what I thought.
the YouTube debate scene.
I was just checking the news. I don't see anything, so
really?
I'll go back to Twitter.
Are we sure? Well, everyone in the chat, are we sure that's actually happened, or is this like an internet rumor thing? Because the amount of times people have been killed off, and they're either not dead or died 10 years ago or something.
They say. Okay. All right. Well, we'll go check. Tony or somebody will fact check it in the. So getting back to, we'll come back to it.
Sorry, I mean, I hope that's not true, but okay. Mm-hmm. So at the start of the season, there was exhibition games in China, and there was a tweet sent out by one of the teams, possibly the Rockets or something, saying free Hong Kong, and the Chinese government kicked up a bit of a fuss. So I presume it may be related to that. But unless Mark Cuban's actually said Chairman Mao is beautiful and wise, which would be weird to say about a dead guy, because that's in the current tense as well. But, Ted Cruz is just weird. The fuck?
Okay. Let me just wrap this up, because otherwise I'll forget.
There's a link in the Kristi.
Yeah, I saw it. That's why I said I'll finish this up. Okay. So what Mark Cuban replies with is, I can say Black Lives Matter. I can say there is systemic racism in this country. I can say there is a pandemic that you have done little to end. I can say I care about this country first and last. And if you think I won't criticize China and what they do as it concerns American citizens, watch this and this movie. But I have never gotten involved in domestic politics of any foreign country. We have too much to do here. And why is it, Ted Cruz, that you take such pride in standing up to and speaking truth to the Chinese, but you have no ability to stand up to and speak the truth to Donald Trump?
Fair play.
Yep. All right, so let's see. Let me go to the tweet. Yes. All right, from Majority Report. It is with a heavy heart that we announce the unexpected passing of Michael Brooks, a son, brother, friend, and true comrade to so many due to a sudden medical condition. Michael believed in bringing people together and in the struggle for love and justice, fighting for all poor and working people, a struggle that he understood to be global. He knew the only way we could do this was by bringing people together, and made his life's work bringing people from different backgrounds and countries together. We hope you will join us in honoring him by continuing that work. And apparently, do you want me to keep going here?
No, but you can if you want to. I wasn't going to interrupt.
Yeah, they talk about his show and his projects and his personal heroes, and she talked to Cornel West. It is impossible to capture the impact he had. He will be missed sorely. His friends and family will want to ensure this work continues and are preparing plans for the best way to ensure this fight continues. His family will release a statement in the near future about plans to keep his work foundation in his honor. While the form it will take is unclear, Michael's family desires to keep his work alive and asks all who wish to contribute, continue doing so in the usual channels. We will honor Michael by treating all humans with dignity and respect.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, but, well, condolences to his family. That's really, really fucked up.
Yeah, sudden medical condition.
Pretty young dude, you know.
Yep.
Fuck. Yeah, that's messed up.
Well,
Shit.
sorry everyone.
Yeah,
I think that's the end of the show. Actually, that was my last tweet. Was to Mark Cuban anyway. So I guess not such a happy hour.
Yeah, yeah. Rest in peace to Michael Brooks. That's fucked, man. God damn. Ooh. No real way to segue out of this, is there?
Don't think so.
Okay, well, I don't know what else to say here. If there's any more that comes out about this that needs to be covered, we'll cover that in the next show or whatever. I don't know when the next show will be. Maybe Friday if Kristi's available. We'll discuss off air.
Yep.
That's an off air discussion. Yeah, that's fucked up, man. Rest in peace, dude. Yeah, okay. So, thank you for listening and watching. It was fun up to the end. Thank you to Kristi for joining me. Say goodbye, Kristi.
Goodbye, Kristi.
She did the bit.
I did.
It's a maudlin bit, but there we go. It's an Arabic.